Hi everybody, welcome to an edition of the Boxing Coalition. My name is Cam. With me I got MVC. How's it going, MVC? I'm fucking great. With me I got Joe Morgan. How's it going, Joe? Hey, bass. And with me I got Ira Gert. Ira, how you doing? Copy boy, to go. Thank you, Ira. I just want to say, we are sponsored by Random Steel. Shout out to Random Steel in the chat.
Yo, I had to put that at the start of the show. Chemo sent me that voice note today, and yo, I was in stitches, man, so I had to fucking play that. But yo, it's the Boxing Coalition. I'm Cam. I got MV2, Joe Morgan, and Hamada on the show with me so far tonight. Hope you guys are well. Chew, let's start off in Liverpool for a change. We found out who was fooling who. What did you think of the Rocky Fielding and Callum Smith fight?
Who's fooling who? It's like a board game. Guess who? It was Callum Smith, overhand right, in the Liverpool Echo Arena. Like Cluedo. He fucking milled Rocky Fielding. I'm really disappointed in the lack of resistance Fielding put up. As soon as Callum Smith landed that overhand right, it was all over. It was all over, and Callum Smith, give him credit, he finished it very quickly. And I'm quite disappointed. I mean, it was a really good finish and everything, a knockout, but I was expecting a kind of Groves Frotch kind of thing, a kind of Joe Calzaghe, fucking Chris Eubank kind of thing, and all we got was a fucking blowout. He fucking sent his ass back to prizefighter.
I enjoyed that one round though. Like, I was expecting more of like a chess game. I was expecting, Smith kind of having a tight defense first 4 or 5 rounds, just covering up, not doing much, trying to let Fielding maybe gas himself out, and then take it over in the second half of the fight. But was Fielding hiding glass, or is just fucking Smith become a beast of a puncher?
They keep saying that Smith is a puncher, and I still think it's a bit of both. I think Fielding chin is a bit shaky, and Smith can punch. They're friends. I know Hamada's got a theory about this, so I'm not going to take his thunder looking at his Twitter. I just think, I don't know. I mean, there just wasn't really there wasn't any kind of needle in the fight. Clearly they grew up together. Now they're making money together. I'll just leave it at that.
Rocky was fucking happy to be there at the end, wasn't he? Smiling away.
I don't know. I just thought they got respect for each other. Just because you got respect for each other doesn't mean like you kind of taking an L on purpose or anything. Like, I just thought they're just cool with each other. If there's no drama, then why make drama? We know fucking Hearn's good at doing that shit, and I'm glad like that didn't do it. You saw it with Campbell and Thingy, and I just didn't think it was unnecessary. Campbell and Coyle, that's the name I was looking for.
Well, they said there was going to be a shootout. That's what Callum Smith was saying after it. Oh, I got into a shootout with me. Well, one of them was using a Tesco plastic gun. And the other one was using a fucking Desert Eagle. Credit to Smith. I never actually realised how fucking tall he is. He's actually, 6'3" or something. Paul Smith looked like a little fat midget next to him. Afterwards.
Because he is.
It's true. That's true. But he is probably the most talented of the Smith brothers, and one of them's a world champion already, so it's just inevitable that he's going to be a world champion in that weak division. And I'm not going to say he's a beast yet, but he's kind of developing into a little beast, isn't he? Or a big beast. And there you go.
He must be a beast if Liam Smith's a beast.
Yeah, but Liam Smith, I think, beat a better opponent. No,
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Nah, no chance.
Who's Rocky Fielding beat?
Who's
Well,
John Thompson was awful, mate. Come on.
Yeah, but okay, I will say this about John Thompson. He's won fights where he wasn't expected to win. Doesn't make him a fucking A-level fighter or anything, but you can say he's been the underdog in several fights and came out on top. I can't really say the same. Well, to be honest, I never watched prize fighter, so I can't really speculate. But in my opinion, like, I was never that impressed by Rocky Fielding. He's beat Brian Vera. That's the best winner on his record. And I thought that Brian Vera had done some cheeky shit.
probably that Gonzalez, isn't it?
Who's doing
Well,
some
Gonzalez-
cleaning in the background? Yeah, Gonzalez.
Leon.
That might
Gonzalez
be
was.
me. That might be me.
What are you playing at, Leon? Come on.
Sorry, I just shutting the back door.
This is a professional podcast here.
Is it? All right, sorry.
Padlock in the door so no one interrupts.
So the fireworks are going off. That's why.
People still letting them off in London.
Cunts, a lot of them. I hope,
Yeah.
I hope they get seriously burnt. A lot of them. Sorry. Go on, carry on.
Nah, okay, the point is, Fielding is overrated. Callum Smith, unproven.
Fair enough.
I disagree.
Go on.
Give us your thoughts about it then, Joe.
Right, well, Ari was saying that he thinks Smith is hiding a little chandelier in there. And to be fair, you still don't know that. Like, Fielding did catch him with a little
Right hand.
cheeky right hook,
Yeah.
and it did buckle him, but then he was backing off with his hands up, and he just unleashed an absolute beast of a left hook. And that was the punch of the night for me, that one, the way he just rocked that left hook in on the back foot, and it shows he's got real fucking power that he can do that when he's backing up. So, I don't think you can doubt his power. If anything was proven, it is his power. I mean, I know that he wasn't like, he took Rabras and that Shezloka 12 rounds or whatever, but I don't know, man. I just think he was fucking so up for this fight. He trained properly, he fucking executed properly. Whether he's as good a boxer, because, you know, he is trained by Mr. Gallagher, and they all seem to like to hit a still target, and they do struggle with movement.
One Punch Joe.
Yeah, well, he does sort of love a left hook to the body, but do you know what I mean? Like, I still think that he's a good fighter, Smith, and that's established now. We can say he's not a hype job, because I think he is I think we can safely say this kid's got fucking potential. Whether that potential is to be, I mean, he's going to probably be a world champion in that weight class. I mean, Leon is right; it is a bit of a wasteland of bums, despite, you know, DeGale and Jack. And they're the top two fighters at the weight. Do you know what I mean? I mean, DeGale's a good fighter, but I still don't rate Jack. So I think he'll get himself a belt. Whether he'll be a Carl Froch-esque fighter, I don't know. But I fucking did enjoy it. It was a good fight. It got me excited that it was before it was fucking, loads of people were picking Fielding. Let's get things straight. Like, loads of people were fucking thought Fielding would absolutely just walk through him, or that he'd expose him. And Smith just proved that he's a level above. And I think Fielding's not that bad either. I don't think he's a fucking prize fighter, level fighter. I think he can come again. But the whole fight sort of just reminded me a bit of that Spike versus Fitz fight out in Ireland, where one guy was just completely not on the same level as the other, and it just sort of...
Just without a chair getting thrown into the ring.
Yeah, obviously without the stool. But...
You know, like we had 3 stools jumping into the ring, cheering afterwards. Fucking cunts.
Leon Way so salty, man. Look, like that was like a 50-50 fight.
Behaviour, though. It was appalling.
Well, the brothers just won the British title. I think they're allowed to be...
Yeah, they were shushing the crowd like it was disgusting.
No, but my last thing is that I'm on that train now. I had one foot on it before this fight, and now I've got my ticket and I'm sitting down and I'm enjoying the ride on that Callum Smith train, mate. I think he's a fucking beast.
Yo, can I see your ticket, please? Because I'm the conductor on that shit.
Yeah, you are, mate. You've been riding that shit since it fucking started.
True. Leon, your thoughts? Your salty thoughts?
He performed well. He did what he had to do.
There's so much pain in you when
There's no pain. It's just what have we really learned? That he's a British level fighter. That's what always been proven.
He's a hungry young lion.
But that's all it's been proven is that he can beat a British level guy who proved to be a huge disappointment on the night. He shit the bed and panicked and just ran out there all guns blazing. What was really proven is that Fielding was not as good as we all thought he potentially was, and I was stupid enough to pick him, so that's shame on me. But I won't be picking him again in any other fight.
No, but Leon, like, if you pick Fielding and it's like you're struggling to give Smith some credit, I think you should be giving.
No. He did very well. He did. That was that's his best performance that he's ever had. So I'll give him all the credit. But I think I'm just not willing to get as excited as some people on this panel. That's all. All I'm saying is it's not Rabras and Fielding. Now you think about it, they're on the same level. But he did a number on him.
I don't know. I think Fielding would beat Rabras.
Do you on that show? I'm not sure he would.
I just think he fucking shit the bed. I think he's a better fighter than what he showed us on Saturday.
Yeah, so he definitely panicked. The whole event definitely got to him.
Yeah, just read the A side in the chat is saying respect to Calm as Fielding was a good fighter before Saturday. So I always said Fielding's a good fighter, but it takes more than talent to be a good fighter. You've got to have a game plan, a mentality. Don't go fucking into a gunfight with a guy who's a bigger puncher and better technically.
Well, that's kind of what Khan did to Prescott, and Khan isn't exactly a bum. So.
Well, what it shows you is what Liam said and what Joe said. He shit the bed. He let the occasion get him. He'll come again. Maybe it'll be good experience for him, but that's got to be held against him if you want to say he's a good fighter or not. He could have all the talent in the world, but if he's going to do that every time he steps up, then it's minus mentality points. He could have power all he wants, but if he can't use it when it matters most, then he's a fucking B-level fighter. If that
could we say that he just got caught cold in the first round?
Yeah.
Give yourself a chance to
want
it. Just fucking stink the place out for a couple of rounds. That's why they call it the feeling out round. Fucking.
he got felt.
Certainly did.
Anyway, Naoto, we need to give you a proper introduction because maybe people that have not listened to you before, because you've not been on for so long.
Yeah.
You're back, baby. You're back. What's happening, Naoto?
Yeah, I'm back in a kind of a weird fashion too. I'm not going to get into that, but yeah, a freak occurrence of events kind of led me to being up at a reasonable hour for once. So,
shit, you pulling the sickie from work? You got some plans tonight?
Something like that.
Fair enough. Did you manage to see this fight?
Yeah, no, I saw it. It's like I said, man. It wasn't a fight so much as an execution. I mean, that's like some shit that you might see on World Star Hip Hop. Like somebody walking down the street and somebody decides to just run up on him and see, like, hey, I'm gonna fuck this dude up right here. That's pretty much what that looked like. I mean, I'd be willing to bet that he kind of got caught cold, and it was the thing where he just couldn't see the left hook coming, man. That dude Smith, I mean, he was catching him with it every single time. And as soon as that second one landed and dropped him again, I think that was pretty much the beginning of the end. There was no recovery from that.
Was everyone okay with the stoppage? I thought it was completely fine.
Yeah, it's good stoppage.
Yeah, because if you watch closely as well, he stumbles after he's got up anyway.
Yeah, he was trying to grab the ropes. He failed a few times, and then when he did get up, he stumbled. And
yeah, it's not like he was putting his gloves up and like, yeah, I'm ready to go back out there. I can defend myself.
It was almost a bit of a quit, really.
No, it was. No, I was just about to say that. At least he went out on his shield.
Yeah,
pretty much.
That wasn't a quit, I don't think.
If he didn't sit down on his gum shield, he could have survived 10 more seconds.
No, the ref waves. Not,
Yeah, but he doesn't know how many seconds are left.
The ref waves you off. You can't do anything about it, can you?
Fair enough.
What were you going to say, Hamada?
It was premature, man.
You think
so?
You trolling Hamada? You thought it was premature?
If you don't die, it doesn't count.
Hamada goes by the he goes by the blood rules, man.
Old school.
Yeah, but David Boy Essex in the chat is saying, to me, Fielding got caught cold, not much chance of executing a game plan. Yeah, but it was his fault. It was his fault he got caught cold with that first punch. He was fucking being too aggressive, just reaching.
Yeah, far too aggressive. That's what I mean. He shit the bed and he panicked and he went and just thought, oh, fuck, I've got to try and knock him out. So,
what an idiot Rocky Fielding is.
Yeah.
He's a knobhead.
He got exposed to be a,
Why would you go after him right at the start of the fight? Why would you go after someone that can punch? It doesn't make any sense at all.
I think he was just hyped up, caught in the occasion.
Yeah.
And even I hear him saying stuff like before the fight, saying, "Oh, I'm looking to chin him," and stuff like, "Oh, I got power," and all of this bullshit. I mean, you went after Callum Smith, and I think Callum Smith has got power, but I think he's got the kind of power that, as the fight goes on, it fades away. I think he's one of those people that, for the first 5-6 rounds, he's dangerous. But
Well, isn't that most big punchers?
Nah, not really. Kovalev and Golovkin and Co. They're on a different level, but they can punch to the end. But yeah, I think he should have just. He even said afterwards, I saw an interview. He said that our game plan was to jab and move, but he didn't do that. He did the total opposite.
He just ran out there.
He ran out there, went after him, and he got caught cold. I don't think he's got a badge. I think the first round's a dangerous round. I think your punch resistance isn't where it needs to be in the first round normally, so.
It all depends on how you warm up.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't think he's a bum, but I do know that he is a mental bum.
Nah, he's not a bum. I wouldn't say Fielding's a bum, but he just
saying,
behaved like one.
His mindset is fucking bummy.
He behaved like one.
He sounded like a fucking loser.
He got mugged like one.
Yeah, and everything he done after the fight was disgraceful as well. I mean, I've never seen a more happy loser. He must have been really well paid, because the way he was behaving afterwards is disgraceful. I'm seeing him even taking pictures on a night out with Callum Smith straight afterwards. I mean,
I think you're being harsh, Hamada, man. Like if you're cool with someone,
he was just glad it was over.
If you're cool with someone and you have to fight him, and then after you fought, you're still cool with him. So I don't really understand. Should he be angry with Smith because he knocked him out?
No, I don't think they were cool. I used to always hear Paul Smith slagging him off before.
Yeah, but Paul Smith's a bum, isn't he? He slags off everyone.
He used to slag off Rocky Fielding hard. And I don't know. I don't think they were. It seems like they're best of mates now. I didn't see that before.
Yeah, I think he was just so scared of Smith that he was just happy it was over and he didn't get fucking knocked out cold.
I've just never seen someone so happy, especially if you lose a close fight. Fair enough, but you got blown out in a round. Why are you so happy? And afterwards he says stuff like, "Oh, he called me a kusha, got it."
Well, he said
maybe
he said that, but in a Scouse
doesn't
accent.
like boxing, and so he was, seeking, he might have been a little bit happy that it's finally been proven right that this shit isn't for me.
He probably got well paid, and he just thought, you know what? He probably, I don't know what to say, man. I just think it's disgraceful. I've never seen someone so happy at losing. I mean,
that's the sort of reaction you get with Joshua when he knocks out one of his bums and he's just happy that he's not fucking going out in a body bag.
It's true. It's like, I understand if you like that when you win, but when you lose, I mean, I don't know, man. I just thought his behaviour was poor.
Teddy Atlas and Tim Bradley, they live in the fire. Rocky Fielding, he lives in an igloo.
Ice fishing.
He doesn't like the fire.
He's doing ice fishing with Teddy.
Yeah, Joe Gallagher lives in the fire.
Sir Joe.
But Cam, you asked Hamada a question. Hamada made a great point, but you shouldn't be angry at Callum Smith, but you should be angry at himself.
Yep.
For getting caught in a stupid way. I wouldn't be taking pictures of him.
Honestly, I feel as though he let Oliver Harrison down, man.
He let down all his fans who turned up.
Oliver Harrison was talking some smack as well before that
Run out
fight.
to the middle of the ring and act like that. I mean, it's just... Yeah,
he was getting booed, though. He was getting booed when his name was announced at the end.
I think Oliver Harrison actually believed that he could win this fight. And he, I don't know, I just feel as though he let Oliver Harrison down.
Hey, yo, that was the thing as well. It was like a pro fielding crowd. There was definitely more Rocky fans there than Smith fans.
Yeah, because the Smiths are knobheads, that's why. Nobody don't like them. if you like Smith, then there's something wrong with you.
But what does everyone think they're going to do with Smith now? You know he's taking another step down.
Do you know what I'd love? I'd love him to fight that Gilberto Ramirez.
No, that's not going to happen.
I think he's getting the winner of Abraham Murray next.
Yeah, I think he'll fight one more fight. It'll be like a half decent fight as like but they'll bill it as a final.
No, he's actually fighting not this Friday, the Friday after. He's on Ramirez, sorry, he's on a True TV card. So you're talking about Smith.
That's a good fight. I'd like that. It won't happen just because boxing's like that. But he'll fight an eliminator, and then it'll either be Jack if they can't get the Daguerre unification, or it'll be the Abraham Murray winner. But I don't doubt that he'll fight for a world title before this time next year.
Okay.
He'll do alright in that division of losers and failures. And look, I mean, the division is so poor that a 38-year-old Frotch is thinking, I was tired too early, I might as well come back and just knock out half of these cunts.
Oh, fuck Frotch, man.
I'm just saying, if he's thinking I'll come out of retirement to fight you guys, that division can't be putting the fear of God in anyone, can it?
I think Frotch is just talking shit, man.
No, what happens?
I know, but I'm just saying.
I think he could very easily get chinned by half the guys that he's talking shit about.
When Frotch doesn't get his name mentioned for like 1 month, he has to say I'm coming out of retirement just to get his name circulating on websites and in the media. He seems very egotistical.
Well, I mean,
ego boost, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, he fought in front of, what was it, like 40,000, 90,000?
40? No, man, come on, 80.
How could you forget? He reminds us all the time.
Even Floyd knows.
Frotch contradicts himself. I've got a men's fitness magazine from last month where he basically says he's only ever going to come back at light heavyweight. Now he's saying he's going to take the girl's title from him.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, well, you had the opportunity to fight the girl and you didn't. So, like, why are you mentioning him now? It's so weird, man. It's just ego.
Yeah, just on
Because he sees his easy pickings.
Can't let it go.
He's like, I can feed on this division. That's what I think.
Nah, he's just a knobhead, and he can't.
Well, I know he's a cunt.
And he can't live without being in the headlines.
Yeah.
Exactly. I agree with him.
He's a knobhead. He loves the spotlight, and
I think he's a great fighter. I hope he comes back.
He's a good fighter. I know that.
He's a great fighter, but it doesn't mean he's not also an asshole.
You know, he's.
I think you have to be.
I think he thinks he could beat most of them. Honestly.
Yeah, I'll tell you a fight I'd love to see is Groves Smith. I think Smith fucking body bags him.
Fuck no.
That's just not fair, just beating on Groves like that. You've got to leave him alone now. He's taking his licks. He's taking his licks.
Smith
done.
Ends Groves.
I think Jack Smith is a good fight, man.
Yeah, I like that.
Did any of you lot realise that? I think I noticed this, that Smith, he's filling out now. I remember seeing him when he first turned pro. He was tall and skinny, but now he looks a lot bigger. He's filling up.
I think light heavyweight within 18 months.
And
he's gonna get revenge for his bro, right?
and his size would be an issue for people, but I still don't think he uses it to his advantage. I want to see him actually use his range, uses his jab and stuff like that. Even in the fights I've seen him go the distance, I haven't been impressed. Like, he looks impressive when he's knocking people out early, but when he goes a few rounds, he doesn't look as impressive. I want to see him use, because if he just keeps fighting like this, giving up his height and giving up his length, getting up close, swinging body shots, he's gonna come unstuck, because you have to use your advantages in boxing. That's just how it is. If you have advantages, you have to use them. You know?
Yeah, man, but he's trained by fucking Gallagher, isn't he?
Tesco Joe.
Stop hating on Sir Joe, guys. Come on. Have some
Not,
respect.
he's no Sir Joe.
You know what? Yeah, I didn't even after I saw on basically I watched our Sky Sports News. So after I saw like the knockout and it finished, I turned it off straight away because I didn't want to see no post fight interview. I bet Joe Gallagher was talking about, oh, dude, that's the punch we worked in training camp, and then he started trying to take some of Callum's shine. And he's just an egomaniac. I bet that's what he did, isn't it?
I didn't listen to him.
He was hanging around in the background of an IFL interview. He always does that.
You guys still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
Skype's just being weird.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone got any final things about this fight?
Nah, it's a fucking good fight, and I just want to see what he does next.
Okay. I kind of want to skip the Ricky Burns fight just because it was fucking horrible.
It's a massacre, wasn't it?
Oh,
Fuck
so
no.
that, skip that shit.
No,
Fuck
I want to talk about it just for 2 seconds.
Go ahead.
I don't like his
Yeah,
new
that's
style of leaning into a guy and kind of just grinding him down like he's kind of Margarito, but you're not Margarito.
Exactly.
You're
It's
Ricky
like,
Burns.
and even towards the end of the fight, when he started doing his own style, he got the guy out of there. But
Well, if you hear Jamie Moore in the commentary, he was saying that it was all a plan, or he kind of said that at the end, and it was just like, sometimes you have to do that kind of grinding down the opponent just to get the stoppage, but I don't think that was the case at all. I thought that guy was landing on him, and Ricky didn't like it. Well, I'm not saying he was hurting anyway, it was just like thinking, okay, maybe the best way of taking the leverage off this guy's shots is just to get straight on his chest, you know, a la Ricky Hatton, Costa Zoo. I still don't think Ricky's the same fighter since the Beltran fight. I don't think he likes getting punched.
Yep.
I don't think he likes keeping distance. I think he prefers to be right up close so the guy
he
can't
feels
really
safer where you can't load up on a punch and get caught.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Exactly, I mean, he's not the same guy to me.
Just quickly, because I know the chat are not feeling this conversation. What do you see Hearn doing with? What do you see Hearn doing with Ricky Chu? Do you think it's just like maybe Campbell, feed him to Campbell or Coyle or some of these guys in the stable?
Crawler, I think they were talking about, weren't they? If Crawler wins.
I think that Crawler fight would be a big fight, man, especially in Manchester.
Good fight. I'd be excited for that fight.
I don't want to see Ricky Burns stink the place out. He's going to ruin his reputation and become a pariah for British boxing. So I just hope he gets a good couple paydays, because I know he fucking needs it. Get a good couple paydays, do yourself proud. He fights better, the better the opponent, so don't fight these bums anymore, man. Just get him against a Crawler or whatever. And let's see him fight fucking beasts from now on in, because if he fights a bum, he will fight like a bum.
Well,
So,
who's
like-
Flanagan with? Could he...
Other side.
Tustin? Ah. Alright.
Yeah.
The other side, and they burnt those bridges.
They've burned those bridges. Left a man desolate on the street.
Yep. All right, let's move on to the other fight on the card. Scotty Cardo looking terrible against Sean Dodd. It was a decent scrap, I thought. I just thought Cardo was terrible, just poor game plan. And I need to give Jim Watt some credit, because everything Jim Watt was saying actually happened. Like he said in the first round, Scotty Cardo's going in with his head a bit. You know, he suffered cuts earlier in other fights. And then fucking straight away he started getting multiple cuts. I think he ended up with like 4 separate cuts on his facial area. And I just thought, you know, the hands low, trying to slip everything and counter, that just technique wasn't working. Dodd was just solid, tight guard, hands up. Yeah, impressed with Dodd, but Scotty Cardo was terrible. You
I
guys?
think he was terrible. He probably fought below his level, but
I think you've got to give him immense credit for coming back.
yeah, man, he was proper fucking champ in that last round. Fair play to him.
That's fair, but you know, that stoppage, Mr. Terry Fatty Connor.
Yeah, I think he's, out of all the British refs, are a bad bunch, but he's my fucking least favourite. Probably
Yeah.
because when he fucking waves a fight off, he just looks so fucking annoying. Like, I've made the fucking right decision.
I've got 3. I've got Ian John Lewis, Terry O'Connor.
He's like a little favourite because he's so fucking bad. It's funny. But Terry Connor's just a fat
He
fucking
is.
mess.
But really, you should have, turned him round, looked into his eyes, given him the standing 8 before he did anything, because
Yeah,
especially with how much effort Dodd had put into the fight.
Yeah, I mean, there was a fucking case for him getting stopped before. Like, I thought, you can stop at any time now, because he was clocking him with some real fucking shots, Cardo. And then he went down, and it wasn't even from a punch, it was like a stumble. So fair enough. The main thing is you've got to give him that standing 8 count. Fair enough, if he doesn't fucking look right, have a little look over, wipe his gloves down. Right, mate, I can't let you go on. Wave it off. Fucking problem sorted. The fact that he's just waved it off straight away, it's a fucking British thing, and British refs love doing it. I remember when fucking De Gea knocked out Paraban, and it was just fucking straight away, bang, fight's over. And you get away with it sometimes when it's like a fucking bummy fight, but when it's actually something matters and it's a real fucking ding dong battle, the way that they just wave stuff off without even looking at a fighter. And fair enough, if he's fucking sleeping like Paul Williams or fucking Manny Pacquiao or something, wave it off. But when you can see him getting back to his feet, give him a fucking chance and then wave it off.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
The whole fucking arena was chanting, Terry Connor, you're a wanker, you're a wanker. And they're right. He's a wanker. He's a fat wanker. He's a cunt. Too many of these guys want to be the centre of attention.
Yeah, man, it's fucking disgrace.
Joe, you're getting a lot of microphone noise off you. Anyone else?
Just on the referees, with the laughing stock, we've got the worst referees on the planet. Yeah, it's embarrassing, really.
Maybe we can deport Lawrence Cole over there.
No, you know he's got a British passport. You look back, I bet he's got a British passport.
He was trained in Britain.
But Cardell looked like shit, didn't he, really? And he got lucky, and I thought Dodd was... I think if it had been the other way around, they would have let Cardell fight on, obviously, because Terry loves supporting the hometown fighter, but... Yeah, I hope they get the rematch because Dodd deserves it because he beat the shit out of him for 11 rounds, I think.
Just quickly, I want to give Cardo some props for his post-fight interview, just saying that, this guy beat me convincingly every round and I kind of got lucky at the end. So, that was very honest of him, so props to him for that.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, Cardo. I'd be fucking down for that rematch, and I know that they'll make it again. So, not the end of the world. Dodd gets another payday. And for guys like him, that's their fucking... world title, isn't it, really? That fucking extra date on a Sky show, bit of decent cash.
Yeah.
Did you see the picture of him on Twitter today with all the stitches?
No.
It's brilliant because the surgeon actually needed a surgeon. It was like a Halloween mask, his stitches on his face.
On Cardo's face?
Yeah. It was 4 or 5 really big cuts. So he did well, like you said, to hang in there because by that picture today, he must have been in some serious pain. Yeah,
but to Jim Watt's point, and you made it excellently, the reason why he was getting cut so much is because he had hands low when he was, trying to use the reflexes to duck and dive from punches. And when you're doing that, your chin's in the air, and you're more likely to kind of just graze heads with the other guy. So I kind of like...
it's on him. It's his own fault.
Yeah, it's on him. But I agreed. Props to him, for going through that adversity because, the amount of cuts he had on his face and, blood going into your eye and for him to continue, guys fucking just quit these days with little cuts, so...
But it was funny. It felt like Dodd could have just held his right hand out there and Cardell would have just kept on running into it for 12 rounds. Because he didn't miss him once with the right hand, I don't think.
I actually think there's some good things about Scott Cardle and there's some fucking bad things. I'll give him immense credit. I mean, we've shat on fighters all night, but you've got to give him a round of applause for fucking him and Dodd for having a fucking brilliant fight.
Oh, it was a great fight.
You're only giving him a props because he's your doppelganger.
That's true, but I don't cut like him.
you got better skin than Cardo.
Nah, fucking considering this Dodd guy's a part-timer. He's 12 fight. He's got a full-time job. He's very good technically. I mean, people were saying in the contrary he's unorthodox. And I think, who's that fucking big crew? Tony Bellew was saying sometimes he doesn't know what he's doing. That's what he was saying about Marshall Dodd, that he doesn't know what he's doing. I fucking disagree. I think he knew exactly what he was doing.
Yep.
And he was just timing him with the right hand as soon as fucking Cardo stepped in. It's just fucking, it was working for him. It was a great fight, and then Cardo kind of made an adjustment halfway through. Started fucking being less predictable, gone to the body more. You know, it's fucking a good. It's what you want in a fight. You want to see ebb and flow. Guys adjusting on the fly, guys getting hurt, guys getting cut. Fucking both of them going through fucking adversity. It was a fucking great fight, man.
Anyone else? All right. Let's
Yeah, it was a great fight. I really enjoyed it.
Fuck off.
All right, let's move on. Considering most of you did see the Russia card, I think we'll go to that now. Because I'll try.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That shit was good, man.
What card of the year?
For me, yeah, I agree with Leon. Card of the year, definitely.
No chance.
I went that way.
Card of the year was Rule Britannia, the O2
Nah,
pay-per-view.
nah, that was a good card, but it's not card of the year.
No, it was better than it, but it was pay-per-view, so...
It wasn't better than the Russian card.
Russian card was dope, man. I mean,
That was sick as fuck, man.
No,
I'm joking, man. I'm being
good,
sarcastic.
good.
the only dud on there was Cuenca fucking not continuing after taking that little tumble.
Yeah, we need to get to that. But Nota, you choose the first fight what we're going to discuss.
Oh, I gotta go with Durodola Kudryashov, man. That shit was nice.
What a...
2-round disaster.
What's your thoughts?
I mean, I just, like it. You can't even really give too many thoughts. That shit was Hagler Hearns, man. Like Durodola came out looking to prove some shit. Kudryashov is normally the guy that's just going bombs away on somebody, and he had a dude right in front of him that was looking to do what he normally does to other people to him. And
Yeah.
I mean, it just worked out that he wasn't able to quite take the pressure. And I mean, but even still, I mean, he was landing some shots though, man. He was landing some shots, and he was getting hit with some. And unfortunately for him, that shoulder roll isn't quite A level yet.
That
so-
was terrible. His shoulder roll attempt was
Shoulder roll
terrible.
was awful.
But that first round, that first minute, Durodola came out throwing loads of punches, combinations, different angles, and not too much power behind him. But you know, you kind of he was touching Kudryashov.
Well, and see, and I think that's really what threw Kudryashov off when he started hurting him. Is
Yeah.
the fact that at first he was kind of slapping, but but once he started finding the range and finding the rhythm, then he started really sitting on everything. Kudryashov was completely shocked at the power that he felt later that
Yeah.
he didn't feel earlier.
And Kudryashov in 70 seconds into the first round, when he hit him with that, you know, that lead left hook, he started doing the walk away. Did you notice that? Because he thought he was going to drop him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he managed to
Yeah.
keep his balance, and then the rest of the round, like Kudryashov kind of dominated it. His eye though, he kind of got a mouse or a bump under his right eye quite quickly. Second round, no to that shoulder roll attempt, man. What was he playing at?
Yeah, well, and the thing is, he had kind of done that in his last fight, too. And, I mean, it was working better then because his opponent was really more of a flighty guy that was really trying to dance around the ring. So it's not like he was really having to defend combination punching coming back at him. But, I mean, yeah, it just didn't work out for him all that well. Although, I mean, I could see what he was doing. He was trying to roll into, like, power shots and, like, into counters, like hard counters. But the way Durodola was throwing in combination and then that kind of combination pivoting, that really wasn't gonna. That was like pretty much the worst tactic to use against a guy that's doing something like that.
Yeah, and the thing is, he was doing a shoulder roll. He's got his right hand up to his head, but Durodola's like throwing 3, 4, 5 right hands in a row, and he's not blocking them all. He's just catching them flush, catching them on top of the head. He started getting a bump on his left eye as well. But yo, that guy is a tough dude though, because the amount of shots he took, his legs buckled like multiple times, but he didn't go down. He was one tough dude. Jay Nady, I think, let that go on slightly too long, I thought.
Yeah, he did. I mean, well, maybe yes and no. I mean, he gave Kudryashov every opportunity, because I mean, he's the guy with the fucking 100% knockout ratio, right? So maybe Durodola lets his guard down just a little too much for too long and at a certain time, and then gets caught or whatever, and Kudryashov's back in it. But you know, It was one of those things where, like, I was almost looking, like, waiting for Kudryashov to, like, take a knee or some shit, you know, because he was clearly hurt. But
Yep.
I think when you've never been in that situation before, you kind of don't know what to do, and you're just stuck in the moment, and that's pretty much where he was.
Yeah, he was like a rabbit in the headlights.
Did you like, a lot of guys are saying that Kudrashov's shit and all that, but did you like see this coming or whatever from his previous fights, or did you think he was the fucking real deal?
No, I thought he was clearly the favorite going into this. I mean, I was expecting him to roll like into a title shot, you know, probably within another year or so. Because I mean, from what I had seen of him, this motherfucker can hit.
Oh, he still can hit. I mean, that guy had a that guy had that's a hell of a chin on him to take those.
Well, not just chin, but I mean, he came out with a good game plan. He was properly warmed up, kind of like we were talking about before. And I mean, he was ready to fight right then and there. And I guess, I mean, he figured, hey, I'm going to see if this guy can take something really coming back at him. And pulled it off.
Who else saw this fight?
Yeah, I saw it.
Your thoughts, Stu?
Yeah, just like you were saying, Kudryashov landed a left hook, and then he had a 2-second window to get him out of there. He could have followed it up with a right hand, but he just kind of had a look at him on the ropes. Like you said, he kind of done the walk away like it was over already. And he paid the price. The guy came back. He called himself God's power, and he fucking had it. I didn't like this Kudryashov guy. I thought there was something kind of arrogant about him, even from his, like, the stare down just before the fight, the ring walk, and the fucking biker jacket, trying to look all fucking intense and scary. And I was watching it on the Box Nation stream. And they were giving him the big fucking up, saying he looked like a guy out of Sons of Anarchy and shit, and saying he was all scary and stuff. You wouldn't want to meet him in an alley, but I mean, so what? If you meet him in an alley, that guy was a fucking Nigerian policeman. You would have fucking arrested him. And that guy was his fucking antidote. It just goes to show you, he was like the Evander Holyfield to fucking that guy's Mike Tyson. You know, he wasn't going to be intimidated, and he just fucking stepped to him. And that Kudryashov guy didn't know what to do.
I think me and Leon were a bit guilty of kind of hyping Kudryashov up a bit. We did it the same with Koenko. I think the chemo, curse of chemo is spreading.
Yeah, that's my fault, because I was just giving chemo too much shit. Karma's got me in.
Karma is a bitch.
Karma's a bitch.
I mean, the Koenko thing, though, the Koenko thing was kind of weird, though. I mean, I didn't think he was doing bad or anything.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. But I just want to get anyone else's thoughts on the Kudryashov fight.
Yeah, I saw it. Just typical hype job exposed.
Simple as.
I love the Nigerian guy though, man. Even his celebration after the fight was epic.
No, actually, I wanted to mention that. I thought it was a bit distasteful. Like, he kind of like went a bit over the top. I thought he could have.
Man, it was epic, man. I enjoyed it, man. What do you expect? I mean, he went to the Lions Den.
Yeah, but you know, like when he left the arena, now he got mobbed by Russian racists, don't it?
That's the thing. He got brought there to lose, right? And so, I mean, he goes in there, he knocks out the knockout artist. I mean,
fair enough.
He was probably elated.
Fair enough.
Let's be honest, they had 3 Nigerians on the card. It was kind of like
Nigeria versus Russia. And Nigeria won 2-1. But yeah, man, that guy, his shoulder roll was awful. He made Broner's shoulder roll look good.
He made fucking Berto's shoulder roll look good.
I don't know about that one.
But yeah, it was a great fight though. It was awesome. It was back and forth. Loads of punches. Like Nelson said, it was Hagler hands, and that's basically what it was. And in the second round, the Russian hype job took a lot of punishment. That should have got stopped a little bit earlier. Yeah. I mean, I'm the kind of guy that if you know what I mean, I like it. I like people to see people get knocked out clean, but
yeah, there was one point when he was against the ropes where his legs severely dipped, and I think Jay Nady should have jumped in then, because after that he took a bit too many punches.
Yeah.
Why is Jay Nady even reffing still?
He's good.
Jay Nady's an OG, man. Don't diss Jay Nady.
I think he stopped. He could have let him go on a bit longer.
I think because he's like damn near 300 pounds.
Yo, Smoker was there as well, man. He wanted Coyote to die. But yeah, we'll get back to that in a bit. Anyone else regarding this Kudryashov fight?
He'll come again, probably.
Yep.
Fair enough.
It's a good division. He'll be all right because in that division you can fight a lot and a couple of losses, as our boy proved. But you can take a lot of losses and still be in good fights.
Yeah, and that Duradola's a he's a fucking good fighter anyway. I mean, he's only lost to that Chunu, who had a good fight with Makabu a couple months back, and he's got some serious fucking power. So, he's a fucking player. There's quite a lot of the new guys like him, Glowacki. There's
the cruiserweight's a beast of a division.
Yeah, mate, they're all big.
I mean, it's always kind of been, it's always kind of been an overlooked division where there's always been one or two guys there in particular that are pretty beastly, but people don't pay enough attention to them.
Yeah,
so
I agree about that, but I think it's getting a bit more focused these days. Like, I think in the past it was a bit a kind of Eastern division, but now it's like getting more shine in the States and in the UK.
I think that, and also just the fact that you got guys that have been cutting weight like a motherfucker for so long, trying to make maybe like super middleweight, light heavyweight, and I think cruiserweight is a perfect weight for some of these guys that might otherwise be, small heavyweights that just don't have the physicality to compete with, the Tyson Furies and Klitschko's of the world.
Yeah, the best thing about all this is that every single cruiserweight sleeps Tony Bellew.
But really, in all honesty, it's like what the old heavyweight division used to be like, really, isn't it? That's what heavyweights used to come in at.
Yeah.
It's a new breed of freaks up the top, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, the new guys are like Godzilla and fucking Mothra and shit.
Yeah,
and what's better, a cruiserweight fight is usually more skilled, faster feet,
more punch output as well.
Better,
big punches,
just like better athleticism overall,
exactly.
But not as gangly and
and the technique's a lot stronger.
Yeah, we know this division's stacked and all that, and we haven't even mentioned my boy Usyk.
Yep.
Who is a killer, not some bum that gets knocked out. This guy's the fucking real deal. And it's only a matter.
Usyk is nasty. He's pretty nasty.
Wasting the fucking decent fighters.
And I still think that Hook's going to make a comeback as well. I think you can't count out Marco Hook yet.
No, you can't. And that guy who beat him,
he's going to fight. Hearn thinks that Huck's going to fight that Ramirez next year.
That'd be a good scrap.
That Ramirez is the weakest fighter out of, he's probably the weakest fighter in the top 10.
Yeah, I agree about that.
Huck's already beat him.
Yeah, he beat him
before.
In Germany. Yeah.
Yo, what do you make of
in a horrible fight?
Yo, what do you make of Bellew Masternak?
We'll get to that in a bit. Joe, stay on topic.
Sorry.
But Joe, I'll let you choose the next fight on the Russian card.
Oh, it's got to be Ola, isn't it?
Your thoughts?
What a hero! I mean, this guy, he gets no exposure. You ask any of the fucking Hearn fanboys to tell me who Ola Afolabi is, and they don't have a clue. This guy, he goes into fucking people's backyards, and when he doesn't, when he puts up a good fight, like those fights with Huck were just fucking unreal.
They were epic.
Yeah, and this guy thought that he could just come in, blow fucking Afolabi out in 2 rounds, shot his load. Afolabi's a fucking good fighter, and that knockout was beautiful. The way he sort of just swung out of the way of a punch and came back, bang of some of that, and then he just completely collapsed on the floor and started surfing. Oh, fucking what a win though. I mean, I want him to get the Bellew fight because I know that he fucking sparks Bellew. But Hearn's going to keep his little fucking scouse twat away from him. So Afolabi's going to probably have to keep going on the road to get these fights.
Yeah. Anyone else?
That Russian fought like a bum though, didn't he?
Yeah, Barry Jones.
Winging shots in.
And it was
power. Every shot was a power shot. No,
and he was just expending so much energy in clinches as well, like fucking Porter against Brook. You just kept trying to fucking hit him. So fucking stupid.
Barry Jones
he got completely exposed. That guy completely exposed.
Barry Jones made an excellent point about Chagayev. He said, when he was throwing loading up on those big punches, he wasn't twisting from the waist. They were all big arm punches, and they sap a lot of energy. And if you noticed in that second round, in the last minute, he was gassed in the second round.
Fully gassed.
And Afolabi's quite a technical fighter. You could see them from a fucking mile off.
Yeah, and his guard was so tight, like, you know, he was barely hurt in the second round. The third, with the head clash, that kind of fucked him up. I think John Rawlings fucking cursed him because he said beforehand, no, he doesn't mark up, and then in the third round he gets cut. And he was a bit distressed from that cut. But he regrouped, and that fourth round was excellent, I thought. The fifth round, you know, when that knockdown that didn't get called. I don't know what the ref was playing at. I think he must have thought it was a trip the way Chagger fell over.
Yeah, we should check his passport. That's got GP.
He's got some British family.
Yeah.
But I think that was also kind of the downfall of maybe Chagger, because he didn't have the extra maybe 8-10 seconds to recover. He went straight into it, and he was just visibly gassed. He was tired. He was trying to push Afolabi away. He was trying to hold at some points. And I'm happy for Afolabi. And even the way he won and celebrated, you know, he went over, hugged him, went over to his corner, you know.
Yeah, that was a nice touch, wasn't it? He went over to him.
Really big props to Ola, man. Really big props.
Chakiev, he was just a bodybuilder though, isn't he? He was just ripped as fuck, but he just didn't have any fucking stamina.
Very stiff, muscular but very stiff. And the thing is, he's an Olympic champion. You'd think that he'd be able to box a bit more.
Where were those skills? I didn't see any of those skills.
Yeah, but it was in powerlifting.
Well,
sorry, Neil, on you go.
no, I was just gonna say, well, hey, I mean, there goes all those amateur skills, right?
I mean, he was fighting Ola Afiobi like Ola stole his PEDs. He was a fucking strange tactic.
Maybe they knew the crackdown was coming.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll get to that later, but there's some guys who you just look at them and think that's not natural, and I don't really know if it's really a kind of good thing in boxing, because these guys are just like 4-round fighters, and you try to knock them out. Has Ola Afiobi ever been knocked out?
That's the thing. You'd think that his trainers would have watched Ola before. Like, it's like they didn't even fucking know who this guy was, and he's
a rugged guy. I mean, going in there trying to knock out a dude with a good ass chin like that is not the brightest idea.
And he was quite a dirty fighter as well. A lot of rabbit punching, a lot of kind of grappling and shit. I was impressed by Ola's composure and just kind of... I'm just really impressed by his composure and kind of, you know, living in the fire.
Well, exactly, I was going to say, he's been in the burning building, hasn't he? He lives in the burning building. He's been in burning buildings all around the world.
He makes the fire go where he wants it.
He withstands the heat.
He is, but to be honest, he's a proper old school road warrior, isn't he? You should be proud of him.
Yep.
Yeah, no, he is.
What he's done, you know, he doesn't get enough props. And we're probably all guilty of it, but, you know, I hope he gets another shot.
He deserves that Matchroom contract, doesn't he?
Oh, he deserves Bellew. He deserves Bellew.
He's too good to sign for Matchroom. He deserves to sign with Al Heyman or the Golden Boy, one of them big American promoters.
Hey, I mean,
Heyman
might be able to bring some shine to Cruiserweight, right?
Well, he could fight Hook
put
again.
On the Hook fight.
Yeah, another one.
See, the thing with boxing is, see if you beat a up-and-coming prospect and you don't have a fan base behind you, you get blackballed, and that's what Ola did with fucking Macronelli.
Yeah, he did. That's exactly what happened.
And fucking, you know, look what Rigondeaux happened to Rigondeaux after he beat Donaire. You know, it's a kind of nasty thing in boxing where if you fucking beat the kind of, you know, the fan-friendly kind of home guy, then if you've not got something to protect you, you get fucking blackballed, and that's what's happened with Ola.
But wait, ain't Ola with
K2?
Yeah, why ain't you getting the kind of push that Golovkin and them not get?
Well, hey,
for a long time, he's not been with K2.
No, he's just signed a management deal, so it might with what's his name? What's the main guy there?
Loeffler,
mate.
Loeffler,
yeah. He's just signed a management deal with him. I don't know if it's a promotional deal with K2 or just a management deal with him.
Okay. Yeah. See, if it's not a K2 promotional deal, then that would be why he wouldn't have been on there.
But if he is K2, he gets Uzek, doesn't he? He could go and fight the guy who beat Hook. Who was the guy who beat Hook?
Glowacki.
That'd be a good fight, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Be better than the shit you've been getting on PBC for the last couple of weeks.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No, exactly, and he'd get paid for it. I mean, PBC pays these guys, so there you go.
Lastly, on this fight, the medical stuff, the whole arena, I think, were terrible. Like the way Chagiev, however pronouncing him, I think Basileus in the chat said I'm pronouncing his name wrong. When he got dropped, he's supposed to get the stool to him, pick him up, let him sit on the stool, gather himself. They were just like letting him get up and walk around and shit, man. I thought the medical stuff was terrible.
Yeah, it was. They were poor, and the Box Nation pointed it out, didn't they?
Yeah. Leon, pick the next fight.
Next fight.
Should we just get Coenca out of the way?
Yeah, let's do it. TBE is no more.
You couldn't just get past that jab on the right hand. Every time he tried to get on the inside, that right hand from how do you pronounce the guy's name? Travansky. You just popping him with the right hand. You couldn't get past him.
He did a good job on him, didn't he? He's like, well, look, if he can't get near me, all this movement doesn't mean anything. So if I just keep him on the end of my jab, he can just run around like a Duracell bunny and do nothing. Because he did nothing, did he? He was clueless in there.
There were points where, when he tried to throw combinations, he was having a bit of success. But every time he was trying to throw single punches, he was just getting popped off.
But nothing landed, Cam, did it? Really?
Not really, no. He didn't trouble Travansky.
And if you've got no power, you've got to land all your shots, as many of your shots as possible. Otherwise, you've got nothing at all, have you?
No.
If you've got no power and you're not landing clean, I mean, within about 2 or 3 rounds, you knew. Well, I didn't think he was going to quit, but I thought he's going to lose the fight.
Yeah, it was a disappointing fight up into the 6th round, and just the way it ended. He was looking for a way out,
Anticlimax,
yeah, it's just it's a shame, and I don't know what his corner were playing out, because I thought they were really poor the way they reacted after the fight, coming into the range, arguing with the ref.
Like just said, Cuenca went full Argentine player at the end. No honor.
Yeah, he was rolling around.
Yeah, I don't know, what is it? It must be the water, man. Like, if Mao Alpha's listening, if my boy Mao Alpha is listening, Mao, don't drink the water, man, because there's something in that shit.
Did Mao finally recover from Luis Ortiz knocking him out?
Hopefully.
But look, I mean, he quit. Let's be honest, that's one of the worst quits ever, isn't it? The guy didn't even hardly touched him.
That's the thing, like.
At all. They went through it in slow motion, and he was trying to say that his foot caught his head. It went nowhere near him.
Yeah, first I thought maybe it was a knee that caught him in the side of the head or something, because he was kind of touching the left side of his face with his left glove, but nothing really touched him, and he just didn't get his way in the fight, and he just didn't want to be there anymore.
There's another Argentinian glass eye, Cam.
Yep, and it's pretty poor for being a world champion, defending your belt, overseas, and for you to quit like that. Like the Matisse one, I kind of gave him a pass. Maybe I shouldn't have, but this one I can't give Cuenca a pass, man. That was really poor.
Yeah, a punch landed in the Matisse thing.
He was trying to pull the Devin Alexander versus Bradley.
But what was he playing at? He must have known that the only way to keep making money for him in boxing is he had to keep on winning. So to quit like that, it's just you're quitting on life for him, really, isn't he? What's he going to do? He had a bit of momentum. He's not going to go anywhere.
And the thing is, if he loses the 12...
That's the thing. He's a difficult, like, southpaw, speedy boxer without punching power. I mean, who's going to want to fight him or promote him, right?
And the thing is, even if he loses a 12-rounder, but he puts the effort in, at least he's a sell. Like, now, people are going to think, well, why do we want to pay this guy to come over? He's hard to fight, and he's a bit of a quitter.
Yeah.
And his corner or a fucking lunatic.
Atrocious, yeah.
You know what? I think it's part of the Argentinian culture. Diego Chavez tries to do this kind of, Ric Flair shit, cheat to win. So does Madonna. I don't really see the dirtiness in Matisse much, but he can be a dirty prick too.
Back of the head punches.
It's just part of the culture.
No, rabbit punches. Matisse does a lot of rabbit punches.
He does, and like the famous football player, soccer player. Fucking Maradona, we all know the fucking hand of God. It's cheating to win is admired. It's like you're deceiving the opponent, you're deceiving the referee, and it's as long as you get the W, who cares if you cheat?
It's like Eddie Guerrero style.
True, but then all your wins are like tainted, innit? Like there's always a taint over them. There's a shadow.
I think
Well,
some
depending,
would prefer
depending
it
on
that way.
depending on how close they are, anyway.
True. Anyone else
I
regarding this?
wouldn't put any kind of tainted win over like Matisse versus Peterson, for instance.
True.
Especially considering Peterson's whole little pellet issue.
True. Anyone left for this Cuenca fight to give their thoughts?
Yeah, my interest in Cuenca has reverted back to equal his KO percentage. 4%.
He let me down, man. He was about to join Marciano and Floyd, and then he let me down.
We cursed another one, Cam.
Yeah, we need to stop giving
we've got
predictions.
issues, man.
Yeah, that's just shit on everyone. Let's not even give Bivol any credit.
No, we will not talk of Bivol.
Nope. Next fight, you please choose Hamada, or did you see any more fights on this card?
What other fights were on this card?
Dennis Lebedev and KO'd, and Povetkin and...
Coyote, the Nigerian that lost and let Nigeria down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He let HBO down, man. He was supposed to go. He was supposed to have that rematch with Tarver on there, right?
Tarver. Yeah, I only saw the first few rounds and it got quite boring, and then I turned it off and I watched Cotto Canelo 24/7. So I didn't watch it. I didn't see the stoppage or anything.
Coyote's just a natural born loser, man. He's like that old Beck song. He's a loser, baby. So why don't you kill him?
But Lebedev's so fun, isn't he? Though?
Lebedev's got the hardest looking face in the world, like.
Yeah, but then he wears that little pansy fucking.
Yeah, that's true.
Outfit.
That
You wouldn't say that to him, though, would you?
I would tell him that face.
I was wondering why he was dressing up like fucking Pluto.
If you saw him and his mates all dressed up like that walking down the road, you'd walk the other way.
I'd be like, fucking hell, what dicks do you boys share or what?
Yeah, then you get
And
smashed in the
knock you out
face.
at one punch.
Yeah.
Absolutely destroy you.
I don't know what it is about Russia. They either come out as bikers or sailors.
I'd rather
YMCA going
be a
out.
sailor than a racist biker.
Popeye outfit.
I just thought, it wasn't the best fight on the card. Lebedev was okay, looked good, carries decent power. Smolga wanting KO to die, I think, but
Smoker just wants to see somebody get killed.
yeah, he does.
Evil fucker, isn't he?
He knows as well when he can go over to Russia, he can get away with it as well.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what's fucking funny about the whole thing? Lennox Lewis was sitting ringside, and every now and again they would go to him, poker face, no emotion.
He looked bored as fuck. He was like, what the fuck?
But don't you think that...
Box Nation was saying like fucking, I bet you enjoyed that one. Didn't look like it.
But don't you think Smoger's like one of those dodgy referees in wrestling who does like the 2 count and then just pulls away from the 3rd count and walks to the outside the ring and lets the other guy beat the shit out of him?
He warns the other fighter to stay in his corner and shit.
He gets caught up with that fucking backward civilization that he goes into in Russia, so he starts acting like a savage.
He's just waving the other fighter in. Come on.
He doesn't have to act like a savage, man. He pretty much is one from the jump.
Smoger should get a Russian passport as well. They'd fucking love him over there.
He needs to get a passport to the UK to teach you motherfuckers how to ref.
That's true. That's true. Anyone else regarding Lebedev?
Is he the best in the division now?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, he's a good fighter, but he's never really impressed me. Like, oh my god, this guy's so great.
Who you got as number 1 then?
He's Bellew.
Bellew.
Dude, I'd love to see that fight.
Well, I mean, I don't know if there really is a number 1, to be honest. I think it could be any number of guys.
Yeah, we need some unifications
like
in that division. We need unifications.
Yeah. We need Bellew in an Iron Man match with about 10 cruiserweights.
But the thing with Lebedev is he's a good counter puncher from, for that division. So anyone he fights, he's got a chance, I think. Because he's got fast hands as well for a cruiserweight.
I think the number 1 is really the winner of the Roy Jones Enzo Maccarinelli fight.
Yo, Joe, my top 3 is Bellew,
Anyway.
Enzo Mac, and then Wadi Camacho.
Wadi Camacho. Fucking hell, he got ended by this Welsh guy called Craig Kennedy the other day. Fucking hell.
I thought you were going to say Simmons there. I was like, he's better than that.
All right, let's move on to the main fight on that card: Povetkin versus Wack. Who wants to go first?
He looked good.
I agree.
Yep, but I mean that Wack is he's a lovable loser, isn't he?
I mean, he has the perfect name. He's wet.
Yeah, he just goes in there. I mean, the man's got a monster chin, but he never goes into a fight looking to win. I don't think.
He's a punching bag, man. He like throws 2 punches around. I mean, I guess carries a pretty good amount of power, but I mean, if he's not throwing it, then what's the use?
His biggest issue was, he was pouring the jab out, and then Povetkin was his right hand over the top, left hook, and Povetkin was getting on the inside too easily. He would just kind of dip low and kind of take 2 steps in, and Wack wasn't using. He wasn't using his jab to keep him away. The only thing he was doing was holding him, and even that he was getting told off by the ref. I think it was Jay Nady who did the final, didn't he? Did that fight? But Wack was I overused the word terrible, but he was really poor, man. Wack, I thought.
But Povetkin is a hard fighter to get away from.
He is, and he looked good, man.
He cuts the ring off. He cuts the ring off good. And you got to be honest, his run of fights he's had since he came back from that defeat is he couldn't have fought. He's fought good guys. Yeah,
the first one was at Manichar after the loss. Yeah. Then he had Takam, Takam was gaining a lot of
he was.
Yeah, a lot of exposure, and then he took him out. And the Mike Perez fight, you could say Perez he's not been the same after that Magomag fight.
He iced him.
Yeah, but he iced him in the first round, and Wack's a tough dude. It could have ended on points, I think. There wasn't long left, and the doc pulled him out because of the cut under his left eye, but
that was a dodgy one, wasn't it?
It was a bit of a dodgy one, I thought, but
the bookies. That was a kind of organised for the bookies.
No, that was organised for the Coalition Prediction League.
Yeah.
A lot of people lost some points on that fight.
Yeah. But I think that Wilder Povetkin is a good fight. I was picking Povetkin hard, but I still think Wilder might be able to keep him at range for a bit.
Leon.
No chance.
Leon,
no chance.
Is it dangerous that Povetkin's, said that I won't be ready to fight Wilder until April-ish, and is it dangerous that he took this fight? Should he have just, sat on his hands and waited until January, February and had the Wilder fight?
I don't think it really matters with these big guys as much, but I think whatever, at this point he's 35, the next couple of months off isn't going to. I don't think it's a big problem.
I don't mean it in the sense of his age or
taking the risk.
Yeah, I think that.
Or something.
Yeah, right. Okay, I see from that degree. I think he was confident. But did he get a little cut?
I think he had a small one over his eye, but even the fact that he's given Wilder the opportunity to have another defense, and I could see Wilder faking an injury before the fight, pointing it off, and then dropping the belt or getting stripped. And I think he won't even get that fight with Wilder. I don't think that Wilder fight's going to happen.
I don't think that ever happened.
No, I don't think that fight's going to happen. But, Chu, did you see this?
Go
on, Chu, did you see this fight?
Yeah, I ran out of time. I was watching a little bit of it before. I don't know, I can't say I really watched it. I will say one thing, it kind of looked like one of those Super Mario, end-level bosses. The fucking Whack will have one attack per round, and it's so predictable that fucking, Povetkin can see it coming, and then he'll just hit, bang, 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 and get away. And
then jump over.
Anyway, I mean, terrible fighter this Whack is. I've never really seen him before, but I had a wee look at it and I thought, I've seen enough.
Fair enough. Anyone else see this?
No, yes. But AJ's going to fight Whack in April now.
Yep. Take him some rounds.
To be honest, I think Joshua knocks him out though, man.
Joshua will probably spark him in 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's really gonna hurt Wack though, because he can take a punch, so he's gonna be taking a few.
So Josh has got Wack as one of his future opponents. He's got the Frenchie that Wilder fought. So he's gonna get in rounds now. Finally,
Yeah, the thing with Joshua is, just quickly, he'll hit harder to a guy that's the same fucking height as him.
Yeah, because he's not throwing downwards.
Yeah, I think
it kind of. I mean, some people know how to throw downwards, some people don't. I mean, I think Joshua does, to be honest with you. I think the way he pivots into everything, like he can hit hard down or up or whatever. You know.
Don't forget, Joshua needs to fight Malik Scott and Tony Thompson.
Yeah, Wack's a long way off.
Yeah, but Wack is just simple. Wack's just a big stiff idiot.
He's a plumber. He's a plumber.
Plumber from Russia. Where is he from? Poland.
He's gonna need 10 plumbers to do him.
Yeah, he's Polish, yeah.
Joshua should just clear out the division, do us all a favour and get rid of these guys.
Yeah, he should.
Sweep
Joshua should call out Povetkin. Maybe Povetkin will actually take that fight instead of ducking him for 5 years like he did to Klitschko.
Povetkin's good.
You know, if Wilder vacates the belt, they're gonna probably order Povetkin versus Joshua because they're 1 and 2 with the WBC, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think, and Hearn's not going to be able to get fucking Povetkin over, is he?
Hearn's gonna shit. He's not even gonna make the fight.
No, he won't. Will
Bring him over. You won't make the fight.
That Russian's got more money in his pocket than Hearn's got in his bank account. It's not even a contest.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyone else? Nope. We'll move on then. Have a little break. Talk about the Predictions League. Give a shout to the top 10. Moen 10 took his place back. Had a little argument with Ari on Twitter. It was quite hilarious. So we got Moen 10 in first. Ari down to second. My boy TBE Chef in third. I'm in fourth. Joint with Lamarcos Malvo. Fifth we got Animal Status. Sixth El Terrible. Seventh Punch Drunk. Eighth Arizona Slim. Ninth Sasa. 10th Mun. Give a shout to the people in the chat. Very active chat today. We got Tico, Tony Yayo, J Svi the A-side, Loma Usyk Klitschko, Casual Fan, Wasif 1, Bill Bones 101, Nunez 83, Raphael 22, Davy Boy Essex. Props to Davy Boy Essex. Going to YouTube. He had to create a new channel, so make sure you follow him. He put in all the UK fights on there. He put all the Russia fights on there in 1080p. So thank you, Davey, for being the next Simbros. And we got Sam Pickett, Michael McDonough, Nothing for Something, Kevlar, Court Music, Basileos, Colm, Supermerc, James Meyer, Jason 268, Serato 5, Lucan, Nesmatic, Z334, Pinhead 360, PM versus Foot, Dean Scores, my boy Scorsese, Low Country, Amekan 7, KH, who I'm going to get on in a minute, and 19 guests. Props to the people in the chat. Okay, let's talk about Bradley Rios. Stu, I'll start with you. Was Bradley really good? Was Rios really poor? Or a combination of both?
Yeah, so just to clarify, I was picking Tim Bradley, but last week I was giving you the alternative argument, the devil's advocate, if you would, as to why Brandon Rios could win. Ultimately, there's two things that are tough in boxing, and particularly tough, and that is getting in the ring and trading and exchanging punches. Number one is making weight, being disciplined, living the life. And Rios can do one of these things well. Tim Bradley does both of these things well. That's the difference. You know, fucking Brandon Rios spent 3 months trying to lose weight, only to put it all back on again in one night. So what was the point in all that fucking training camp? You know, if Brandon Rios was to step into a sauna, he wouldn't sweat, he would sizzle. He's fucking really, when I looked at him, I just knew, you know, you just know he's not actually fucking physically up for the fight. That said, Timothy Bradley was a Reds. You know, fucking best he's ever looked. So it was a combination of Brandon Rios just being physically shot. You're right, Cam. I've got to give you credit. You're right all along.
I was right for a change.
Yep, you're right all along. He was shot. But Tim Bradley, you know, he's back better than ever. He's fucking living in that fire. So, got to give him props.
Okay, we got my boy Kev Horn on. Kev, you there?
I'm in the house.
Hope you're well, Kev.
I'm embracing the fire.
What did you think of the fight, Kev?
You know, I haven't been watching many fights lately, especially when they're mismatches like this, but I just got mad respect for Tim Bradley's career, so I figured I'd watch it and support him. But I don't know how guys like Rios could make six figures every fight and still be out of shape. Like, where's the professionalism in? I don't know. It seems like Garcia's camp always has issues with making weight, no matter who they bring in there, Reza, other guys, and it's crazy.
It's Garcia.
It also shows, though, that, like, all these people on Twitter who act like they know shit and, like, all these, like, writers and journalists, like, this is a motivated Rios, all this, like, he's working mad hard. That's all I was hearing the last 3 weeks.
Who mentioned names?
Well,
I'm
he
not bringing...
was probably,
I got
working mad hard to lose weight.
Yeah, you know I got mad heat out there, MV2. I don't need 15 hate mails coming at me, but it's like everybody's talking that, and then you see this dude, he doesn't have an ounce of muscle on him. His face is all sucked in, and he's just trying to lose weight, and it's like a fat camp. And it's just unbelievable. It's like, even if you had like $2-3 million, wouldn't you want to live healthy so you could live like for a long time? And it's just bad, and I don't know, I think Bradley looked good, but it's the same thing. It's like Rios looked good when he fought a cracked out Alvarado, so I can't really put too much credence in it, and I just wish there wasn't a Cold War so Bradley had more opponents to choose from, because I think he deserves another big fight on the way out. I just think he's a little shot.
Naoto, your thoughts?
I mean, I don't think Bradley shot at all. I mean, I thought he looked pretty damn impressive, regardless of who was in front of him. I mean, he was doing to Rios what other people would normally do to, you know, C-side, D-side level fighters. I mean, sure, Rios was drained and everything. You could see that coming in. But, I mean, those first few rounds, Rios was still throwing some heat at him. Yeah. And, I mean, Bradley was able to weather the heat and put out the fire, right? So
Naota, it's like two different sides of the spectrum. Like, even if Bradley is slipping a little bit in reaction time and stuff, he still always works hard and is in sick shape. So it's like he's always going to be good.
He's making the most of everything that he has, even if it might not necessarily be as much as it was maybe a couple years ago. Whereas Rios is making do with 10% of maybe what he truly has, because he's sucking it all out of himself in the last 2 weeks before the weigh-in, just to make weight.
Yo,
right?
Rios's body looked horrible, like no muscle definition, flabby. Like,
well, he never really has had muscle definition though, to be honest, even at lightweight.
True, but like at the lower weights, he had like a bit of shape, like he had like curve to the back of his back, you know, like.
Yeah.
On Saturday, he just like fucking looked so bad. I thought body wise, and the stoppage and like the first knockdown, like. I don't know about you guys, but I thought that was a quit. I didn't really see a clean punch land.
Nah, he was landing it was accumulation to me. I mean, you could see in the very first round, Bradley hurt him with a body shot, and he kept going to the body consistently throughout that entire fight. I mean, both of them were digging to the body really, but Bradley was doing it heavy. You know, like some of the more eye-catching punches landed by Bradley were like that little pivot, and then he'd throw the overhand right and catch Rios flush. But the ones that were really doing damage to Rios were those inside body work. And I mean, just in the ninth round, it was the accumulation to me. It was like it was the cherry on top of everything that he had done before that.
I got to agree with Cam. I thought it was a little bit of a quit. I think he could have got up, but he just knew he was done.
Not to just a Rios fanboy, so you're just defending him.
How am I a Rios fanboy? I'm more of a fan of Bradley, if anything.
You love Rios, man. You always defend Rios. When people say Rios has no skill and he's a bum, you're always the first one to defend him.
He has inside skills. I mean, like more so than a lot of people.
He has inside the kitchen skills.
Yeah, he does.
Inside the fridge skills.
But I mean, that's the thing. I have enough respect for Rios that I'm going to give more respect to Bradley for doing what he did to him. I mean, Pacquiao didn't do that to Rios, right? So Bradley did a good ass job. He went in there, he stopped him. I mean, even if Rios wasn't 100% Rios, he did what you do to a guy that's not 100%. He went in for the kill and he did that shit.
Good point. Leon, your thoughts?
Well, yeah, Rios' shot. He mentally checked out of that fight after about the fifth round. And as for his training, it must be a joke. He said he missed weight because he went and had a shit. So he's the only man I've ever heard of who put weight on after having a shit.
No, he said they rushed him to the scale. He couldn't take his shit.
Right. Okay, so
then he took one and then he made it.
Oh, right, okay, so he had a big shit in there. What does he mean? Yeah, he's shot, man.
He shit the bed, literally.
Yeah, he's just... But I was going to say, I thought Bradley... Is that the most body work I've ever seen him do? Does he usually go to the body that much? Because he seemed...
He went to the body
really
quite a bit versus Diego Chavez.
He is a body puncher, but yeah, I think he did more on Saturday night. But
it was impressive.
The thing is, when a guy loses so much weight that quickly and is so drained, if you go to the body, you can hurt him quite easily. So I think obviously he knew that. So.
Well, and that's the thing. You need to be aware of that. You need to have the wherewithal to think, oh, this guy struggled to make weight. I'm going to his body. A lot of guys don't even think about it.
Cam, did he put the water in the basement?
Definitely.
Fucking Teddy Atlas is just like the four elements guy. He's like fire, water, wind, and fucking
Did you see that? Did you see that analysis I made earlier about Teddy Ellis talking about the burrito? This guy's like a burrito without the meat and the cheese. So you gotta hit him with that hot sauce.
Twitter's been crazy with all the memes over the weekend. It's excellent, man. Some guys have got some skills.
But don't you think that if he could fight across the other side of the street? Like if he fought someone like Furman, who we've seen be hurt to the body, that would be a great fight, wouldn't it?
Yeah, there's some great fights.
I'd pick Bradley to win that. Honestly, I'd pick Bradley probably over every other welterweight out there right now.
Regarding that, what do you actually see next for Bradley? Do you see it this Saddam Ali fight or this who's supposed to fight? Is it Saddam Ali versus who?
Jesse Vargas, right?
See, I don't want to watch Bradley Vargas too, and I don't really want to watch Bradley versus Saddam Ali. I think he's above him. I think he's a lot better than him.
Yeah, honestly, I think it'd be more likely to happen what Aaron was hinting at, where if Canelo beats Cotto, then Bradley will move up and fight him for the big paycheck.
Yeah, Bradley doesn't need to go through those fights. He's earned the right to take, to get the, if he's going to be his last couple of fights, he doesn't fight those guys.
I mean, as brutal as Alvarez looked against Kirkland, he's not like some kind of seek and destroy annihilator type fighter. I mean, he was more than willing to box it out with Floyd. So I'd be willing to bet that Bradley would get him into a nice, clean boxing match too.
I just think Bradley's too small.
Take too much damage.
I just think Bradley's too small for 54 or 55 when it comes to Canelo.
I mean, in general, yeah. I mean, he was 155 on fight night. The guys like Canelo are coming in at 170 plus on fight night, right? So.
Yep.
That could be difficult for him, sure. But, I mean, like I said, it's not like he's going to be going in there fighting a guy that's looking to take his head off with every shot and pressuring him all night and really just making a physical fight out of it. I mean, Alvarez isn't a bigger version of Provodnikov. He's a bigger version of Floyd, basically.
You know what? I just think that even though I think Canelo would win that, I think Timothy Bradley would cause him problems just by being really small, making the target really small. And just a lot of head movement. I thought Bradley looked a bit like Lomachenko in there against Rios.
Yeah, the way he was sidestepping.
Yeah, sidestepping.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
Yep. Maybe just because Lomachenko was on before.
Yeah.
Well, and like Lamont Peterson, Edgar Santana, a lot of the
there
too.
Great example. Yeah, I love that. I love that kind of fucking sidestepping round him like he's a heavy bag and then just attacking the body. I mean, I'd like to say it's rare, but I've just gave you 3 examples. It's not really rare, but it's still great to see.
Does anyone think the Provodnikov rematch will happen? Just with this whole beef with Diaz and obviously how great the first fight was.
Well, I mean, honestly, I don't think Arum is really keen on having any of his fighters fight Provodnikov anytime soon. To be honest with you, we're just by virtue of Provodnikov is there to do damage every night, and why put miles on your own fighters when you really have no stake in the other guy, right?
But if there's no fights for Bradley, it's an easy sell, isn't it? The backstory's already there. That Great War, the trainer swaps. It's an easy sell, isn't it?
I could see it happening.
Yeah,
because he's not got much choice really, has he? He's not going to fight Pacquiao again, is he?
I hope not.
Honestly, I could see that. I could see that just because I imagine there's a possibility that they might not want to risk Crawford's rising star against Pacquiao.
That's the thing.
That fight,
I could see the third fight with Pacquiao, but I don't want it to happen because I think it's a waste of a fight. We don't need it.
But we might get it.
Anyone else got anything to say about Bradley or Hamada? What do you think Bradley's next fight will be?
What his next fight would be?
Yep.
Kell Brook.
Nah.
Kell Brook can overcome the rib injury.
Hearn ain't paying all that money to bring Bradley over.
His hands got pay-per-view. Someone has to pay for it, innit? According to MV2.
What's Bradley's minimum? Is it around 2 mil? 1.5, 2 mil, something like that?
I think he got 1.5 for the Rios fight, to be honest with you.
See, Hearn ain't paying that shit. He's cheapo.
Yeah. Hands a tight cunt.
He got 1.9. My bad.
He tried to say, Chavez, the Chavez fight was pay-per-view. He tried to make it pay-per-view.
Chavez got like 35 grand against Bradley.
Exactly.
Chavez is a broke motherfucker. He tried to put it on pay-per-view.
And Hearn probably paid him freaking round-trip airfare. That was his purse.
The worst thing is we were talking about off air as well, just to go off subject, that Bizier beat Lawson on the weekend. That means fucking Bizier is going to be mandatory to fucking Brooks soon, man. We don't want to see that fucking fight. Bizier lost to fucking Jojo Dan twice. Oh my god, I hope fucking Brooks doesn't have a shit year next year.
Like Ness said, it comes full circle, right? Jojo Dan fought Aideen, and Aideen fought Guerrero, and Guerrero fought Martinez.
That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
It's not so much a full circle as like a totally straight line in another direction.
Yo, that's not acceptable. Brooke can't fight Bizier. Bizier lost to Dan twice.
Exactly.
Dan fucking shit.
IBF ranking is terrible, man, at the moment for welterweight.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that Lawson guy's a fraud anyway. I knew he's a fraud. I remember seeing him fight Prescott, and Prescott was giving him the business, and somehow he managed to get a decision. From you're struggling with this Prescott, you're shit. And it was at 47 as well. Prescott's way nowhere near 47.
True.
I hate fighters who are verbs, like cleverly busier, because then the commentator will just go back to that. Oh, he's a busier fighter. Oh, he's busier.
All right. Anything else? Let's talk about Lomachenko. Chu, I'll start with you. Big Lomachenko fan. What did you think of his performance?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I wasn't that impressed. I thought the guy who was fighting just maybe he came in wanting to win, but after like a round or whatever, he just thought, fuck it, I'm not going to win, but I don't want to get knocked out. So it was just like in a stalemate. Lomachenko took a while to get warmed up. Nez on the Boxing Voice, I was listening to the Boxing Voice last night, shout out to them, described Lomachenko as like a swarm of bees. I thought that's a good description, actually. He is just like a swarm of bees. 1 minute he's there, 1 minute he's not. He's just not quite hurting you, he's just stinging you. And then he's getting away. He hits you and then he's not there for the counter punch. He's to the next place and hits you and then he's not there for the counter punch. He's like the Flash. And I'm impressed by his skills, but I'm not impressed by him not killing a guy off. If you if you pardon the expression. You know what I mean? He could end it a lot sooner. These guys aren't on his level. And if I've criticised other fighters like Rigondeaux, Ward, for playing with their food, I've got to criticise Lomachenko as well. So, I'm impressed by the finish. I love his body work, but, it was at least 6 rounds too much. And he needs to be criticised for that.
I agree. I think he felt Kovacic, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He felt his power quite early, so he wasn't really concerned. But he was getting tagged quite a bit. He wasn't hurt at any point, but I just think
Kovacic,
just because he knew that the level of position wasn't that high, he didn't have that much power, so I don't think he was as concerned about getting hit. But you get into bad habits, we've said it in the past. You start fighting bums, you become a bit of a bum. I don't think Loma will become a bum because I think he's so highly skilled, but I think he just needs to fight better opposition, whether it be rematch with Salido, rematch with what's his name? His name escapes me. Gary Russell Jr. Because
Gamboa.
Yeah, Gamboa's a good fight. Because they're talking about him going up to 130, but 130s, apart from like Uchiyama and Miura, it's a wasteland, man. So I think he's better off staying at featherweight.
Gamboa was saying that he would fight him at 130, and then I wouldn't necessarily say it's a wasteland. I mean, if Martinez actually beats Salido in the trilogy, he could fight Martinez instead. Otherwise, he gets the rematch with Salido. Otherwise, you got Nicholas Walters. I mean, wasn't that fight supposed to come off? And somebody didn't want it to happen because somebody couldn't make weight or whatever. So, I mean, there's lots of opportunities there.
Now don't forget Stephen Smith as well.
Another one of the Smith brothers.
There's plenty of guys for him to fight. I think it's just it's really about his team being a pain in the ass, and not necessarily releasing them, putting them out there as they were before. I don't know if maybe they lost confidence in him after the Salido fight or what's going on. I don't know. And to me, it seems they're being a bit diva-ish. They're taking a page out of the Cotto Canelo book right now.
Yeah, but why not? Because everyone else is doing it. I mean, it's just how it is. Everyone else is doing it. So.
Yeah, so everyone else jumps off a bridge and you go with it.
Yeah, ironically, and he can afford to do it because he's with Top Rank and they're paying him $750 grand.
Yeah, he got some silly money. How much did Kovacic get? Like 25, 35 grand, something like that.
Yeah, he got the Diego Chavez pay.
He got the Chavez money, man. That was a joke.
How much did he get paid?
$750. Lomo, and Kovacic got 25 or 35.
750 grand.
Yep. That's why he's not bothered, is it?
He deserves to get shitted on, because when Leo Santa Cruz was making 750 grand fighting the bus driver, everybody was giving him shit.
Yeah, but to be honest, we've been critical of Loma. We were critical on the preview show, and we're being critical now. So it's not like we're favoritism going on for Loma.
Well, we're not being like Max and Lampley were on Saturday.
Oh my God! Like I saw the alternate stream with the Puncher and Colonel Bob, and they were really bad. But then I heard people talking about the main feed with Lampley and them, and I thought they were just sucking him off, man. It was really poor.
Yeah, it was embarrassing, man. Like, you think that shit would be embarrassing to the network to hear him talk like that?
They were sucking him off like Yusuf Mack.
Wow.
Hamada went there.
We're better than that, Hamada. We're better than that.
I was like, without ski mask, who's going to be the first to drop one of those? Man?
Yeah, man, it had to be Hamada. But Kev, what did you think of Lomachenko's performance, and what do you see next?
I hope he fights somebody with a pulse next. I mean, I'm always critical of PBC mismatches, so I gave him a pass like the last fight or so because he came out so strong fighting everybody, but it's time to step up and fight somebody else where, this is like sparring to him. It looks like it's so easy. So I don't know if it's because this guy's so far below or he's so much better, but he can't be that much better. The guy did lose to Salido, but the way he's so relaxed in there and puts punches together is great to watch. I just want to see him do it against somebody I think has a chance,
Yeah, something more competitive.
100%. And, I just hate it. Like, I feel like I shit on both sides. We're pretty even here, and it's like you say something bad about Lomachenko, people are down your throat, but they're first to criticize, Santa Cruz fighting bums or somebody else, and it's like,
Double
a guy
standards.
goes in there 20-1. Like, what do you take from it?
Yep, double standards.
But Kev, can I just say, a lot of people think that Lomachenko should go to PBC, but I don't, because all the good fights are on HBO. What do you think?
I think anywhere you go, you're going to miss out on opponents, and it's not like PBC is in a rush to match people with everybody. So I think there's opponents for him to be made. I know he didn't want Walters, because he says he's too big, and then Rigondeaux didn't want him because Rigo says he's too big. So I just think people got to get more creative, and I think now with HBO really cutting their budget and putting less and less shows, the promoters got to get the hint soon. Like, hey, if you want to get $2-3 million for an event, you got to give me a good fight, and it'll start giving more pressure. If these guys only fight once a year on TV and they're not making a lot of money, they might have to start taking a Walters fight even if you don't want it,
Yeah, it seems like Bob's also using Daenerys as a sacrificial lamb. Could you see him going back to featherweight and then fighting Lomachenko?
I could see that, definitely.
I think that's next.
That would be fun, I think.
I think that's a fun fight.
Because it's like two kind of Prince Nassim clones, essentially. Guys that like to do, silly shit that aren't necessarily, well, I don't want to say Loma's not skillful, but, but both of them, a lot of times they'll not utilize, traditional boxing skill sets and try to do real flashy shit. And I could see them both doing that pretty much for as long as the fight winds up lasting. And plus you have the danger there of Daenerys' power at pretty much every second of the fight. So yeah, that's an intriguing fight.
Yeah, I think that's next. I could see the fight happening. Maybe March, April, May, something like that. Any final thoughts on this Lomachenko subject?
I just don't want to hear people saying, like, oh, Walters is too big. You just take that fight. I mean, that's the best fight there.
It's a bullshit excuse. Man. It's a bullshit excuse. Bullshit. I mean, Henry Armstrong wasn't complaining about fucking welterweights being too big for him, and they were outweighing him by 20 pounds. So
exactly, it's just bullshit.
The thing is, if someone can make the division you're in, if they can make weight in that division, then they're neither too big or neither too small.
I just don't think he's wasting his prime. If he doesn't fight Walters next year, he's going to have fought no one because there's no one for him to fight.
If you want to be considered like pound for pound, like people are trying to like put him, you have to do the otherworldly shit. You have to go in there, fuck up your biggest rivals, and maybe move up one more weight class and fuck up all your rivals there, and then that's where you really prove your chops.
Exactly.
Joe, I understand why people are concerned about weight because now with rehydration, like, it's crazy. Like, you guys weigh the same, and the next day he's 8 pounds heavier than you. But at the end of the day, like, if you're worried about him not making 126, put a big penalty in the contract. He doesn't make the weight, you fight him. You know what I mean? And I just think there's so many weight classes that if you're within the same realm of somebody, up or down, a
just
couple
make the
pounds,
fight.
People are going to give you more credit for making that fight and losing than fighting bums like this,
Yeah, and Lomachenko loves or his team and all of his fans and shit, they love to hype him up about his gold medals. Guess what? One of those gold medals was at 132. So him being quote unquote too small is the biggest fucking amount of bullshit that's possible.
You hate Lomachenko though. I've got to say that, Neil. I respect you hate Lomachenko.
But
I don't hate Lomachenko. I really just hate his fans, and I hate the hype that he got without necessarily deserving it. Pound for pound fighters to me beat Salido. Marquez beat Salido, Mikey Garcia beat Salido, Gamboa beat Salido, Lomachenko lost. So, I mean, he's a good fighter. He's a very skilled fighter.
I'm glad you brought this up because me, you, Kev, and a couple other people were arguing about this on Twitter. You said that, okay, but Salido made Mikey Garcia quit. And that fucking Gamboa fight.
I didn't know that making somebody quit after getting knocked out. Who the fuck is snoring or what is that?
He's breathing, yeah.
I think that's you, Kev.
But
my bad. I just grabbed my dog. I got him. Hold on.
But you got to remember that Salido came in there as a welterweight, didn't he? I mean, it was just ridiculous.
Well, I mean, the Salido came in there as a welterweight against Warren Martinez, and he lost.
Yeah. And that's to Naoto's point. If you're pound for pound, you transcend a couple pounds.
Yeah, you just do it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't even really knock him for losing that fight because Salido's it's tough coming into the pro game, and that's one of your first fights. And everybody on this panel gave him mad credit as like a breath of fresh air
Yeah,
coming into
exactly,
boxing, taking on everybody doing his thing. So you give him a pass one or two times, but it's like, all right, now it's time to go. Like, you came in hot, stay hot.
Yeah.
I'd rather
I'd
rather have him have a 15-fight career and fight everybody and end up with a 10-5 record and retire than, doing what he's doing now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like people, they talk about Wilder fighting bums or whatever because he's a world champion. Well, Lomachenko's a world champion, and supposedly he's the best featherweight in the world, so he should be going down the list.
Yeah,
Number
this is
2,
not good
number
enough.
3,
It's not good
number
enough.
4, yeah.
It's not good enough.
So, he should be going out there saying, like, hey, let's get it, Lee Selby, let's get it, Jesus Cuellar, let's get it, Russell again, whoever.
But I don't
Morris,
get. Listen, Neota, I just want to clarify this. He fought Salido in his third fight?
Second, I
Yeah,
think.
credit to him.
His second fight, not counting that whatever that is, the 6-round fight's another thing.
And Salido had
WSB.
a lot of fills. I don't even count that as a win for Salido. I count that as like a no contest. I don't even, you know what I mean? I give Lomachenko credit for actually taking him on in his second fight. So, I mean, how can you not think I think he's pound for pound.
I think he has pound for pound level talent, but I mean in terms of eye test, but in terms of actually being able to prove that against the best opposition, he hasn't.
Yeah, because break it down, his best win is Gary Russell Jr.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And Chu, to your point, like, he adjusted early and he started beating Salido in the second half of that fight. I think if they fight again at any weight, Lomachenko beats him just because it's not new to him, and I think he just outclasses him and beats him, no problem. But that, to me, that doesn't qualify as pound for pound. I mean, if he would come out and school Walters 8-4, then that's something crazy.
You know what? I actually scored the Salido fight for Lomachenko. I had Lomachenko winning.
It was a close fight, though.
Very close fight.
Yeah. And if the ref deducted points and was basically on his job, I think Lomachenko would have got the decision.
Yep.
I was there actually for Lomachenko's first fight. I had no idea who he was because he was on an undercard of, I think it was Bradley Marquez in Vegas.
No, and, was it Bradley Marquez?
I think so because I was only there in Vegas one time, so I think that was it.
Yeah, it was Bradley Marquez.
Yeah, and the place was empty still, and I went down, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? He was wearing yellow, and he was moving fast. He looked good, and that's when I started Googling and found out all that. So, like, I've been watching him first. I commended him, but it's cool to take one or two soft touches with the belt and maybe try to get recognition. But now it's time to step back up.
I remember when he fought Salido, I looked at it as though, like, this is a guy who turned pro and in his second pro fight lost a split decision to a tough champion. Like, I actually gave him credit. I thought he actually did well, if anything. But then again, if you look at how he's 2-time Olympic gold medalist and that, you do expect him to win that fight. But I don't know. I looked at it the other way. I thought he did well. I mean, most people in the second pro fight, if they fight a world champion, they'll get done.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if Lomachenko actually got that win, I think a lot more people would be having him on their pound for pound lists.
Well, he wouldn't have deserved it in the first place because that was a clear win for Salido.
No, I disagree.
And MV2, you knew HBO was going to be behind him heavy because Lampley and them were making all types of excuses for Lomachenko in that fight.
They still do.
Yeah.
They did on Saturday night too. It was disgusting, man.
But that Salido fight, they made it. Salido was being a little dirty, but they made him like Ric Flair, like the dirtiest player in the game. They were pointing out everything he did and trying to like get attention that he should be deducted. And it was bad, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, I've seen worse.
When they ignored, like, for instance, like Lomachenko freaking pulling Kosic's head down and uppercutting him, like, that's not dirty. Like, come on. I mean, yeah, okay, it's fair, whatever. It's in the fight. It's in the heat of the moment or whatever. But, if you're going to say, like, oh, he got done dirty, well, he's doing somebody else dirty now, so.
I remember Lomachenko wasn't even complaining after the fight. He didn't even make a meal out of it. He just said, it's part of the game. What can you do?
Yeah, but then in the next fight, every time he got hit low, he was complaining to the ref.
Exactly.
Yeah, but afterwards, he basically thought about it and thought to himself that I should have been doing the same back.
But he started doing that back late. He started going back low, especially with his left hand late. Yeah. And someone like him, he knew he was set up that they were going to take care of him and get him a title shot. That's why I think post-fight, he just didn't want to look like a bitch and come off wrong to U.S. TV audience. But
Yep.
Yep.
Anything else? No. Kev, quickly, just your thoughts on the Fielding Smith fight.
what was I know you? I don't want to talk too much. I know you guys probably covered it, but what were the odds on that fight coming into it? It had to be close to 50-50, right?
No, it wasn't. It was Smith was 1-4.
He was a 4-1 favorite.
Yeah, but I had him in my bet to win by knockout, and that was even.
Even money.
Yeah, even money. So yeah.
Yeah, because
Even Lomachenko was even money to win by knockout. I had both of them to win by knockout.
I got him 4-1 to win within 6 rounds.
because people love to shit on the Smith brothers, and I think I remember Cam saying Callum Smith's his favorite or something. So I ended up watching a couple of his fights, and he was a strong looking guy. And that shit was out. You guys sent me that link, man. That was great. I like that. I'd rather watch something like that than 10 rounds of boring shit. So that was impressive. But what happens with him next, do you guys think? Or I'll just listen back. You probably don't want to backtrack and cover, so.
Yeah, no worries, Kev. All right, let's move on quickly to talk about 24/7 premiered this weekend in the States on Saturday. Hamad, I know you got to go soon, so you take the floor with your thoughts on it.
Awesome, amazing, pump me up. I'm so hyped for this fight. I'm not even joking. The intro was amazing.
No, I agree. Like the way with the kids and Liv Schreiber's narration, that was good. But I just thought the rest of it was a bit average. I thought.
No, I liked it. I liked Freddie and what's the other guy's name?
Gavin.
He was talking sense.
McMillan, yeah.
He was actually talking some sense because he was saying that how some fighters their strength and conditioning makes them lose their fights, and it's quite true. I mean, you see a lot of fighters, they overtrain and they do more strength and conditioning work than they actually do boxing work because they need to cut weight.
True, Hamada, but I can't take a guy serious who can't cut his own food.
That's assault.
That's assault.
It's like mandatory too. They show Chepo cooking in every 24/7.
Yo, now we know why Chepo's so always on the barbecue, man, because he used to own a meat shop. He's a meat rider.
Yeah, he's a butcher.
Even the kid that looked like Canelo, the American Canelo, that was funny as well. He's an amateur. You see him when he was doing the punch. They're saying that he's an amateur fighter. He looks poor, man. Like he didn't look any good, mate.
American Canelo.
Yeah, I think I do pass better than him.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit corny, man. That whole segment.
Yeah, it was, but I was laughing. I found it funny. But yeah, do you think like I saw Cottle's nose and looked quite messed up. Do you think that's gonna affect him in the fight?
I didn't really notice his nose. Like, what was it, bruised up a bit?
You haven't seen the pictures and stuff? It's going all over the internet. Like his nose is quite bad.
Cotto?
Yeah.
Was that in the episode though?
I guess Slim's boy Frankie Gomez been giving him that work.
Yeah, or what's the other guy's name? Tapia. Because Tapia was sparring with him. You could see it. And even Canelo was sparring with Curtis Stevens.
Yeah, that's actually not... That's
actually good, like, because Curtis Stevens got a good left hook.
The hooks.
So, yeah. But I see from the way Canelo's doing pads, I think he's looking to try duck under the Cotto left hook, but he's actually bigger than Cotto, so I don't think that's really going to work. I think he should try block it. Well, I don't know. We'll see what he'll try and do, but when you see him doing the pads, you'll see him throw 4 punches and then duck under the left hook. I don't know. I liked it. I think it was great. I think the intro was awesome. I loved the intro. And I just think, I don't know, man. I'm leaning towards Cotto, you know.
Same here. You getting hyped for it?
Yeah, I can't wait. I said, I'm gonna stay up for that fight. I don't care. Like normally I don't stay up for like fights. I haven't even barely been watching fights, but I'm gonna stay up for this fight. I'm gonna make sure I'm up and I'm gonna watch it. I can't wait. It's a great fight.
I'm gonna ring you at 4 a.m. to wake you up because I know you're gonna fall asleep.
Hamada's gonna stay nice and safe.
I'm gonna stay up. I'm gonna make sure, or even on that day, I'll sleep early and I'll wake up for the fight. Yeah, I can't miss it.
Yep. Anyone else's thoughts on 24/7?
I mean, typical 24/7. It's pretty good. I I guess I'm easy to please with regard to the 24/7s because I've always really enjoyed them just in general. I especially like when they're not focused around either Floyd or Manny because at least you get a little bit of new blood into it. And even though we've seen Canelo and Cotto before on these, I mean, it's interesting, especially considering the fact that you have Alvarez on the cusp of basically, possibly becoming at least somewhat of the star that he was kind of meant to be when he fought Floyd, and then Cotto, possibly, closing the lid on that and really like ending his career with that one signature win that kind of always eluded him because, his biggest fights he really lost.
Noto, you said something to me on the weekend. You said, if Canelo loses this fight, like, where does he go? Because, he's lost to Floyd. If he loses to Canelo, I kind of disagree with that statement in the sense of I think it depends how he loses. If he puts a good innings and he shows a good representation of himself, I don't think it's too bad. If he gets dominated by Cotto and maybe gets stopped, then I might agree.
Well, I mean, if he loses the way he kind of lost to Floyd, where he looked just kind of passive and like let the more like veteran fighter dictate the action and everything, I think he's going to be shot to pieces in terms of like fandom because I mean, people like really bought into the hype to begin with, like that he was just this monster destroyer. He was like in the next line of like the Julio Cesar Chavez and Ruben Olivares, like Mexican warriors and all that stuff. And the thing is, he doesn't have the same style as them. And he doesn't have the same mentality as them. He's a different type of fighter. And I don't know. It's just that if he shows that kind of passivity against a guy like Cotto, who seems to be meant for him to go in there and shine on, and like put him over the top, and especially like with regard to the whole ethnic, Mexico versus PR rivalry, and he loses to a guy who himself was kind of a career loser, a guy that got knocked out by Margarito, got knocked out by Pacquiao, lost to Floyd. Then I mean, I think it's a total PR disaster for Canelo insofar as his crossover stardom is concerned.
Yeah,
Not
I know what you
necessarily
mean.
his boxing stardom, but his crossover stardom.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think if he loses this fight, I think some of the casuals will turn off from him.
Big time.
Yeah. But I was going to say something, but I forgot what I was going to say.
It's alright if it comes back to you, just jump in. Chu, your thoughts on 24/7? If you saw it?
Yeah, I saw it, yeah. I'm just worried about this Chepo guy. He seems to be more interested in writing songs about Canelo than training. And there's something quite... I don't know, when you look at Freddie Roach, he's kind of got this look on his face when talking about the fight, like, oh, he's got something for him. Like, he's got a good game plan for Cotto. Because, Freddie Roach doesn't let his fighters fight unless he's got a good game plan. He's not going to let Miguel Cotto fight Triple G because he knows he can't win that. But I definitely think he sees something in Canelo that makes him want the fight. I'm actually, just because of that and because I see Cotto rejuvenated and Canelo really training on his own, I'm kind of leaning towards Cotto as well. But I mean, the 24/7 thing is, I just watch it for the music and them training on.
I just watch it for Schreiber's narration.
Yeah. It's like bingo. It's like 24/7 bingo.
Condensed Rocky.
That's pretty much it. It gets you hyped. It does get you hyped. It works.
True. It's funny. I kind of took away the same thing as you, but I also took away, like, this is like the third or fourth time we've seen Canelo in shows like this, and it seems like he's doing the same things, and I don't see really any improvement. And I think where Roach could diversify game plans, and like you said, Chu, I think Roach might be a better matchmaker than he is trainer. Like, he always matched up Pacquiao out at the right times and stuff like that. And I'm leaning towards Cotto. I think McMillan's made Cotto just looks strong in the last couple fights, and I don't think Canelo's improving at all with his team. Like, he's just doing the same things he's been doing since he started.
You know what I think? I just remember what I was going to say. I think the weight's going to be an issue this time. I think Canelo's been getting away with it. I don't know, somehow he just keeps managing to get down to this weight and it hasn't taken an effect on him. I think now it's probably going to affect him. I think he's going to struggle. He's going to gas early. Something's going to happen because I saw something where saying that he's 168 right now. That's, 13 pounds he's got to lose.
That's a great point. I was thinking the same thing because I think, it's been a few years now where he's been at this 155 catch weight, and he's getting older, he's getting bigger. Like, I think this is the fight where 155 is going to be his struggle as well.
Yeah, and it just, when you're watching 24/7, I just look at him and he's so thick. His legs,
Stocky,
his arms, he's just so thick, and it must take a lot out of him to get down to that weight. It must do. And I think it's gonna. The funny thing about all cutting so much weight is that you never ever know which day it's gonna actually come and affect you. Like a lot of fighters, you see, they get away with it for say 4 or 5 fights, and then that one fight comes along where it's just the weight's just a big issue for you. And I think this is gonna be. I think this is gonna be the one. That's what I think, anyways.
And Hamada, to your point, like, as thick as he is, he's so lean. So if he's going to lose weight, it's going to be straight depletion and having to cut muscle. And that might affect you even more because it's just harder to cut muscle and then just while you're depleting all your water and everything like that. That's crazy.
And every time Canelo steps on the scales, he looks awful. He looks bad. I remember seeing him, the Kirkland weigh-in. He looked really bad. And like, I actually thought from the weigh-in, Kirkland got the better of it, but obviously I knew Canelo was going to beat him, but you just thought Kirkland made the weight better than him, and there's been rumours over Kirkland's career that he's even been struggling to beat the weight.
No, he was, man. Like, I mean, he was 174 on Fight Night, I think, versus both Canelo and somebody else too.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of people forget that when he fought Nobuhiro Ishida, he struggled to make that weight. That was like 158 or 159 or some shit.
Exactly, and he looked better on the scales than Canelo. So Canelo's really struggling. I think this is going to be the one where it really is a downfall, because it's going to happen one day. You can't keep making 155, forcing himself down to this weight. We know he's a big dude. He weighs more than Golovkin does on Fight Night, and he's talking about Golovkin needs to come down to 155. And if anything, I think Golovkin would make 155 easier than Canelo.
Yeah, because he's not a big middleweight. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's going to affect him.
I disagree with the whole he's not a big middleweight thing. I mean, to me, he looks every bit as ripped out as Canelo does. You know, in terms of muscle mass, like he's got the back like a linebacker. You know,
I don't think Golovkin's as thick though. I don't think he's as broad.
I think
I would say that, but I mean, you could still see the muscle tone in him. Like he's a strong son of a bitch. You could tell that just by looking at him.
Yeah, but you know, with Golovkin, when you look at especially like his ab area, it's not like what Canelo. It's like Canelo's got ripped 8. You can see all 8 packs, whereas Golovkin, you can see that he can probably lose another pound or 2.
Yeah. I agree with that.
If you look in the Mixler chat, I just posted a picture. It was when Canelo and Golovkin were sparring, and they both stood side by side. Like, just the width of Canelo's much different.
Yeah. Well, you know, they're built a little bit different. Canelo's a little stockier, a little shorter, and you know, Golovkin's a little more stretched out. And see, and that's the thing. The funniest thing is that was back when Canelo was fighting at like 150 and the 149 catch weights or whatever. Yeah. And he was still the same size as him then.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty much the same size, so no excuses. The one thing I just want to say is that I've never seen Cotto take a punch from a 154 guy, let alone a 160 guy. You know, the biggest puncher he had faced in the higher weight classes was Sergio Martinez, but you know, his knee was fucked. So I kind of think the fight would go either an early knockout for Canelo or Cotto schools him.
Well, how about like the Cotto Margarito 2 fight? I mean, you don't think that Cotto was fading late in that? You know, Margarito was getting to him a little bit with
Yeah, but that was at welterweight.
No, the second one.
Was that a lightweight?
154.
Yeah, 154.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't consider Margarito a big puncher at that weight class.
No, but I'm saying even still though, he was still kind of wearing Cotto down a little bit.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, and Trout as well. And you know these guys aren't punchers. My point is, like, Canelo will be far and away the biggest puncher he's ever faced.
Yeah.
Beast Mode in the chat is saying Mayorga can punch. No, I can't.
He can punch when he actually lands on you, but you know, he really almost never hit Cotto flush at all back when he fought him.
You know, Mayorga will punch you if you don't give him a cigarette.
Yeah, but he's
Smack
kind
your
of
girlfriend's ass.
he's kind of 17th century kind of bolo punch.
All right. Do you guys want to discuss this Floyd interview talking about Broner? Oh, we're not really bothered. Are we like Ari? I'm not bothered.
I don't even think I heard about it.
I heard it earlier on YouTube. It's kind of like saying, you know, why is Broner being disrespectful of saying, you know, what he said about TMT when, you know, he fought Sean Porter coming off a loss, and he was coming off a loss, and now he's a world title list and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think everything he said was correct, really. Like,
well, to be honest, I think Floyd has always kind of seen Broner as like, you know, like Floyd is almost like say in a group of females, like there's the hot chick, and then there's the chick that she hangs around to make her look even better by comparison. That's pretty much what Broner is to Floyd.
That's a good analogy.
Because Broner shows you that all the shit that Floyd does really isn't that easy. Because when Broner does it, he's not anywhere near as successful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I saw it, and I thought he made a lot of good points. He's basically saying if Adrian Broner's saying fuck the money team, then really he's saying fuck Floyd Mayweather, fuck Al Heyman. I wouldn't be surprised if this is getting angled as a kind of comeback fight for Floyd. You know, Adrian Broner. That would sell, whatever you think of Adrian Broner. That would be a big selling fight. You know, they would sell the fuck out it. Just in the lead up to the fight. All that kind of shit. You know, I don't really see why, you know, if Floyd Mayweather gets called out by everybody, why would you respond to Adrian Broner? So I think they're just trying to build something up potentially. Even Adrian Broner getting associated with Floyd is good for him. It's good for his career. I'm not saying it's manufactured. I'm just saying I don't really see a kind of negative for either side. You know, no one's getting hurt by Adrian Broner saying fuck TMT. All you're doing is causing controversy and speculation and publicity. And clicks, exactly. So it seems a bit manufactured to me. Everything about Adrian Broner in a kind of PR sense is manufactured. But in a fight sense, I actually like him. I just think he's got too many guys telling him what to say rather than being himself.
Yeah, he's scripted.
Pretty much.
Yep. Quickly, there was a card in Ireland, Box Nation card. I said it before, you know, no boxing last week. Not much boxing next week, and Box Nation decided to have a card at the same time as Eddie Hearn and Sky, which I find a bit stupid. It was only a small card, mostly, you know, prospects coming up. I'll give my 2 cents quickly. Jamie Conlon was fighting a mini-me version of Lucas Matisse, you know, who had a business in the front, party at the back. Tattooed up, but he was tiny. He didn't want to be there. He didn't quit, but the ref stopped it, which was good. Jamie Cox got a first round stoppage, pretty nice KO against Ferran Albert. Virjinder Singh's second professional fight, he actually fought a guy that was worse than the guy in his professional fight, which I thought was a bit weird, but there you go. Got first round stoppage. Two big bums were fighting each other. McDonough versus Byrne. No, sorry, not McDonough versus Byrne. It was Timms versus Sweeney. Not much skill, just looked like a pub fight. And Jamie Conlon's brother was at ringside, Michael Conlon, who's an amateur, and I just got to give him props because I thought, you know, he was a guest of Box Nation. He was at the side talking to Steve Lillis and the presenter, and I thought he handled himself excellent. He was well spoken. He gave good analysis, and yeah, for a young guy, really good to see. Really good on camera. So props to him. And that's it. You guys got anything else to mention before we go? Not much boxing next week.
Well, tomorrow there's the PBC card with the guy that dropped Frampton those couple of times, Alejandro Gonzalez Jr. He's fighting. He's not fighting against a really good opponent though, but I mean, it'll be interesting to see how he looks coming off of that. Just in comparison to a guy that's not an elite level guy, to see how we really rate Frampton getting dropped by him, for instance. But going into that fight though, I thought that Gonzalez was better than he was being given credit for. His dad was a champion in the 90s, and he knocked out Kevin Kelly. So, for what that's worth. But he's back at his natural weight of bantamweight. So, see how he does, and then that might key us in a little bit more for Frampton versus Quigg to see if this guy's actually better than he was originally given credit for, and thus no shame to Frampton for getting dropped by him, possibly.
Yep. Chu, you want to talk about anything before we go?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the news. We've kind of touched on everything. I seen this thing on the news today about Russian athletes all getting caught taking performance-enhancing drugs.
Yeah.
It's quite prominent news today. I personally think, looking at a lot of Russian boxers, I've got no evidence. Just looking at their physique though, I think a lot of them are on PEDs. I mean,
the
I can
PED eye test.
I mean, it's.
That's pretty much what everybody's always gone on, isn't it? I mean, that's pretty much what a lot of people said about Pacquiao. A lot of people said about Marquez when they came up in weight. It was all eye test. I mean, neither of them ever tested positive for anything, right?
Well, come on, Marquez took drugs.
Well,
Pacquiao probably did as well.
That's what I'm saying. Is that we're going off eye test though. It's one of those things where there's no evidence, but you suspect something's up.
If you saw the guy Afiobe was fighting, he was on drugs.
He was a beast. He was a bodybuilder rather than a boxer.
Man. Anyway, I don't even know. I've got nothing against Russia. I just think before we start jumping on the beast bandwagon, everyone from Russia's a beast. Just take a look at them.
Well, I mean, at the same time, though, I get kind of annoyed when people start saying like, "Oh, so and so needs to start taking tests." Like, okay, well, what about some of these other guys who aren't taking tests? Like, oh no, like it seems like there's a trend of accusing everybody who's a big puncher of like juicing, and I think that's just fucking stupid. Like, as though like nobody's allowed to have power anymore, or kind of like when people were accusing Bradley of juicing, like, okay, so nobody's allowed to have abs anymore. Like everybody's supposed to, be built like a stick or what? No, that's just a peeve of mine.
Nah,
it seems like
no. I mean, there's, even though Timothy Bradley's got big abs and shit, I've never suspected him of being on PEDs. I don't know why.
No, but I mean, other people have, though. Other people have thrown it out just because. Oh my God, he's too ripped. Like what the fuck you mean he's too? Like just because your fat ass can't do a fucking sit up, like you're gonna throw an accusation at this guy?
I know what you're saying, but just to me, it's nothing about punching power. It's about.
Well, no, I mean, like, I'm talking about the people that like insinuated that somebody like Matisse or like Golovkin were on PEDs.
Yeah.
Or they still do, or they'll accuse somebody like Kovalev, or they'd be the type to accuse somebody like Pascal, even though Pascal was the one that wanted Hopkins to take the test and they didn't, right?
Yeah. Well, the thing is with Hopkins, he's 50 years old and he's fighting at a very high level for a very long time. I mean,
well, that would be a proper suspicion then at that point.
Exactly. It's not as if it's not without foundation, even though I probably think he didn't. Yeah. But I'm not fucking sure either way. I mean, I would test him.
Yeah.
And I would definitely test a lot of these. See, you should be allowed to just say you're on drugs just by looking at a fighter. Because a lot of the times you can just tell.
Well, and it's one of those things where because the testing is so out of whack. I mean, there's no standard at all. You know, it's not like, okay, we have all these boxers are licensed in the state of whatever or in the United States. Okay, we're gonna do random testing. And then somebody just shows up at your home address, and it's like, okay, here you go, we're testing you. You know, that's really the way it should be. You know, Thanksgiving dinner, like they show up to your house, like, hey, what's going on? What you eating in there? Time to take a test, right?
Fucking, I'm John Pascal on it. Take the test. Take the test. That's it. Prove you don't. Nonito Donaire, he gets a pass. You know,
Is he still doing that though? Because I know he was, but I don't know if he completely continued with it.
I'm unsure, but I mean.
But yeah, just the fact that he voluntarily did that shit and like paid for it at first out of his own pocket, and then they picked it up after the fact because they wanted the publicity. I mean, yeah, that definitely speaks volumes.
Wasif in the chat is saying, "Chew, this is like medieval England. You are a witch." I'm not saying it's a witch hunt. I'm just saying that sometimes you can look at a guy and just say you're on drugs.
No, I kind of agree with him, Chew. Like, you can't just say that. You can't look at a guy like he might just be training hard in the gym and look like he's on drugs, but it doesn't mean he's actually on drugs.
I think there's you can see Evander Holyfield in his prime. You can just tell, you know what I mean? I can't articulate this properly. There's some things in the physique that just lets you know.
Yeah, but did you think that Kid Galahad was on Peds?
I never watched Kid Galahad anyway.
Fair enough.
I can tell you. Yeah, this is a fucking black hole. I'm going to leave this there.
Yeah, it is.
Fucking Gabriel Montoya and that.
Yep. Alright, boys, anything else, or should we bounce?
We're done.
Alright, I want to thank everyone that jumped on the show today. I want to thank all the people in the chat. I want to thank all the people that download the show week in, week out. Whether we'll be back next week, I'm not 100% sure. Not much boxing this week, and I know we have a chemo special on the eve of Canelo Cotto on the 20th of November. So whether we have a show next week, I'll keep you updated on Twitter and in the Mixler chat. But thank you guys, and peace.
You just listened to the Boxing Coalition.
I did. Man, I love boxing. I fucking love boxing.
A big shout out to the Boxing Coalition.
You're a newbie.
No, I ain't new, man.
If my fucking next door neighbour became the #1 flymate in the world, you know what I'd do? I'd fucking walk past the cunt.
Derek, how you doing, bro?
I was physically banging, blood.
I disagree.
First time I hear the show, man, it was fucking badass.
Vamos a Argentina, la concha de su madre.
I see the bomb in them.
I get home and she's like, what the fuck? Me and the kid are here. Why don't you get home and talk to us? I'm like, man, you guys don't know shit about boxing.
Kel, how does it feel to be the new IBF champion?
Feels great. Did we really dive into the black hole right off the jump?
I think he's hiding glass. Just to play devil's advocate. You want 1 portion of crow or 2 portions of crow?
Give me 2 portions with a supersized fries and a large drink, please.
I can't stand him, what? I'm Scottish. Cringe side?
But you won't rush Anthony fucking fat ass Joshua, would you?
He's not fat.
How about you tell us what you weigh for your final thoughts?
My weight?
Thank you for listening to the Boxing Coalition. We are live every Monday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. UK time, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern.